divorcing their husband. There's a lot of big very expensive fight. Left up to someone else's idea of what's right. So if you're unhappy in your marriage, now might be the time to act. Protect your right to choose what is best for you and your kids before it's taken away. Because the reasons that you want to leave your marriage are no one else's fucking business.
So sis, what do you think about that? Like,
I mean, I agree. Destroy your marriages. Why not?
I mean, like,
I'm not here to, you know, I've reached the point that I think a lot of men reach, which is I'm not here to save these hoes.
What are you saying? Did you just say? Did you say the sound? Did you say the soundboard effect, Pearl? The one that I've been using all week? Did you say?
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga?
I mean, you know, I think maybe when men are young, they like try to save the hoes, you know, and help women. But then they just see we don't listen and then do whatever we want. And then, I mean, I see younger guys, like maybe less now, but I don't know. And yeah, so if you want to ruin your life, go ahead.
I agree.
Well, I mean, that woman literally just gave every guy a reason not to get married. Like, ladies, if it's your time to get divorced, this is your time to do it. Guys are like, wait a minute.
Pull up her TikTok, Glenn. It's down below. I want Pearl to see this. Look at these numbers and read her bio. 2.3 million likes.
Divorce
recovery code.
Wow.
Helping you navigate single motherhood with confidence. That's her bio.
Wow.
I mean, you should see her Instagram. It's incredible.
I mean, I've heard single motherhood's great. Go try it, ladies. Go ahead.
Yeah, like and be ready to be single for the rest of your life, because like, yo, some of these like titles. What was the title that was talking about, like or was that on her Instagram?
This one's my favorite. This one I want to see because we've seen her most famous video, but I haven't seen this one. Raising our daughters to spot red flags sooner than we did. That one's pretty interesting. How to handle guilt after initiating a divorce. Pretty interesting. How I found my third husband after 2 divorces. That's
what I was about to say, Glenn. Stop lying. There's always a simp. Always.
That's the problem. That's the problem. We have we have an epidemic of midgets running around.
Someone's gonna do it.
We need to start jailing these Mitches up. We need to lock these Mitches up until they're non-Mitches anymore. Just no more Mitching. You know, Joe comes in here. Joe Mobley says he gives us the N-word pass.
Appreciate you, Joe.
He says Donald Trump is the HNIC. I think that he meant head nigga in charge, is what he said. That's what I think that's what he meant to say, and I just said it for him. There you go.
I mean, somebody's gonna do it. Somebody's gonna do it.
But like,
hey, you know what's fun about this election? How Trump won so much of the Latino and Black vote, mainly for men, for the first time
not women.
Republican history.
8% of Black women. He got 8% of the vote. And you know what's crazy? He had such a powerful statement for women. I have it right here.
There's nobody that respects women more than I do.
I mean, 8% with that. I mean, that is a powerful statement.
Well, here's the thing that I saw Nuke say this the other day. He goes, if Trump wins, women are going to take credit. And if Trump loses, it's going to be men's fault. And
no accountability.
That got me thinking. Maybe there's more women out there for Trump than we think.
I mean, white women showed up. White women,
them snow bunnies came out.
60% for Trump. Let's go, ladies. Let's go.
Yeah, remember I was saying how a lot of people unfollowed me today when I just posted a couple positive Trump things about the economy and the wars ending. There was actually 2 women that I wasn't sure if they were liberal or not that were like friends from college that mutually follow each other, and they both messaged me privately saying, "Thank God he won." So I know they voted for him. They're in California, so who cares? But popular vote, right?
I mean, you know, people are waking up. So I mean, the other thing is like being a Trump voter is more like
it's more
a rebel now. It's a rebel.
16, it was unattractive. Now it's attractive.
Well, it's because it's rebellious. It's cool to go against the grain, right? Like it's cool to go against the opposition. Like it's just cool. So is this a fad? Is this a fad, or do you think this is a real thing?
It could be a fad. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, people voted for him for the economy and to end the wars. Like obviously, Harris is just going to continue the wars. The economy was not going to get better. Her giving each person 25 grand to buy a house, do people not understand where it's going to come from? It's going to come from either taxpayer money, they're going to print it, or they're going to add to the debt. However you slice it, it's going to fuck everything. And the house
they're going to borrow it.
That's more inflation.
California is borrowing a ton of money from China. They're borrowing money from China. But you know what's interesting?
However you slice it, it screws everyone. However you slice it.
Yeah, I love that you asked this question though, Glenn, because one of the things that stood out to me last night. Did you see Trump's speech? Or you were sleeping? I know you didn't see it.
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping. You were sleeping. So what I thought was interesting, and the reason I would say I don't think this is like a short-term trend, is Dana White was given the opportunity to speak. Trump was given his speech, and he said, "Dana White, come give a few words." You know who Dana White chose to shout out in the couple of? He didn't even have a minute. You know who he shouted out? The Nelk Boys and Aiden Ross.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's right.
Yep. He shouted out
Aiden Ross, and I'm wondering, like,
and the Nelk Boys, because Aiden had Trump on his stream, and the Nelk Boys flew on Trump Force One and did multiple videos with Trump throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
So that generation that consumes that content, I think it might be a longer standing ideology that is adopted by that group of men, the 18 to 25-year-old men that watch the Nelk Boys. They watch Aiden Ross.
Well, yes, Roman, that is Pearl.
The one and only.
I find it amusing how everybody's shocked
you
it's actually Pearl. Like when Pearl shows up, it's like, hey, is that actually Pearl? Is that you?
No, it's an AI.
I felt really bad today. Glenn was supposed to come on my stream, and I was tweeting. I was looking for the people I asked to come on Twitter, and I forgot I texted him, and I forgot to send him the link.
I'm sitting here like texting her. I'm like, where's the
and I was like, anyone else? Anyone? And I was like, not. I was looking at my screen on my phone. And then he picked it up right when I ended. I was like, oh, dang it. I was ready for this too.
So
she's got to see the video. You know which one I'm talking about. The slow-mo video. She missed that one. She's got to at least see that one. I mean, I'll pull it up. You guys keep talking. I'll pull it up because that one.
I sent you guys a video in the chat too.
Oh, I love it.
Pearl, so you were talking about the other day, like liberal guys not coming out to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think that was that really happened? Do you think that was a problem that came up? Like,
no, actually, I'd have to look at voter turnout and then. Let me see.
I mean, I have a couple.
But while we do that, I'm gonna play this video real quick. Here we go. This is a Pearl earlier before she went live.
So this video is for the liberals on this app. I want you to know that I hope you have a terrible day. I've had a terrible day.
Based
4 years having to pay more money for gas, food, and watching a squirrel be wrongly killed.
Damn right.
So I have zero sympathy. I hope you guys have a terrible day. And I am offended that Democrats think that we are so stupid as women that we can't figure out how to use birth control.
You can't?
and that would be an election deciding issue. So yeah, I hope you guys have a terrible day, and tune into my show in 30 minutes to go over, my condolences, and maybe, my condolences to the liberals.
So that was based.
Hope your day sucks, liberals.
Like there've been so many of them crying. I mean, some of them are running into walls and shit, and it's just really bad.
Dude, the stuff they're posting doesn't make any sense.
It's up, Glenn. Let's go. She's got to see this one. This one's only 20 seconds. This is my favorite.
I gotta send the
super chat.
I'm gonna send the link to Thor real quick because he's in the chat. I just saw him. Here, I'm gonna drop him the link. All right, Thor got the link. All right, let's pull this up.
There were less men voting. Oh wait, no, it's 2022. How do I see 2024?
Trump won everything. Women, Hispanics, like he was up on everything.
But the question would be real quick is like, do they have the stats in yet for determine like men or who outvoted, like men or women?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And New Jersey. Yeah. And New Jersey, Grid.
Was it a 10-point swing in New York?
New Jersey was extremely close as well, considering that New Jersey usually goes.
Virginia was tight too.
I'm gonna send a Hitch slap the link too.
Hitch doesn't do video streams, Glad. I've been trying to get him to. He's got the best faces. He won't get on cam. I don't know what he's doing. We're gonna get him on some streams. Hitch, I see you in the chat. What up, Aviel?
In New York? Oh, I thought it was a 10-point swing.
That's wild.
According to the New York Times map I'm looking at right now, in New York, it was 56% for Kamala and 44% for Trump.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. It was tight in Virginia.
Yeah, it says that's with 92% in, so they haven't even finished counting all the votes yet.
Hold on, guys.
So
Virginia was tight. It was like a 2 points.
It was really close. It was too close.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 2-point swing in Virginia. He was up a majority of the night.
Well, so I mean, if anything, that tells you that people were tired of the
bullshit.
Biden, Kamala, administration. They didn't like those policies anymore.
It was completely a referendum against DEI, gender ideology, men and women's sport. It was all of it. And the horrible foreign policy, the issues with the border. It was a full referendum against the things that we've been seeing over the last few years.
And the question is, again, it goes back to what now? Are people going to do stuff about it now? Are we actually going to?
Oh yeah, we're fixing it, Glenn.
Be accountable now, or are we just going to sit back and complain some more?
No, me and you, we're fixing it single-handedly. We're getting on an RV. We're going around the country, and we're fixing it, bro. It's happening.
We're doing
it. Why you got to give us a nickname, Grid? Why do we have to have a nickname?
We're not Thorpe. Nothing. Okay. We're just gonna be going around. Yeah. Same topic. He wants to debate why domestic violence laws are not good for society. And so I'm going to debate why domestic 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m.
You think domestic violence laws are good for society?
Yes, for the reason why I'm arguing against him. For his reasons why they should be implemented. Yes. I think that they are. Yeah, we could do that. I just don't like the language. Like, I don't like VAWA at all. like the language of Allah, like it's Violence Against Women Act. Like it should be just Violence Against like Spouse Act or something. Humans Act. Yeah. Yeah, like so I think the language is bad. But the way that he wants to frame it up, I definitely think that for people like him, there should be a domestic violence laws in place. But I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna save my.
This clip is perfect considering the commentary at the end of it. I mean, you might as well play. You might as play this clip tomorrow. This is perfect.
Let's watch this. This is great.
You haven't seen this, Pearl? What do you think of the thumbnail so far? I mean, you're a master of YouTube. Rate this thumbnail 1 out of 10. What are you giving it? That is the thumbnail.
10.
It's a 10. That's what I said. All right, let's jump in. Ready?
What?
Stop.
It gets better.
Stop.
Can we get a slow mo?
Oh no! We're gonna bring it back. Oh no! Ready?
Let's get a slow mo of that. Say that in 5
See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit. That was insane.
Oh, that is so hilarious. Can we get a...
It's not hot enough to be accepting that.
Like, look at this. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Just... Oh.
The sound is brutal. The sound is just...
See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
The cops ain't gonna believe this shit. That is wild. You can go ahead and drop it, Glenn. I just want... You haven't seen that clip yet, Pearl? That's one of the big ones going around today.
Yeah, last time I saw a tantrum like that, it was a 3-year-old in a Dollar General running into a pillar.
What do you think about that, Pearl? Like that's your sex, Sarah. It's your part of your species.
I don't identify with that.
Base.
You guys think that women are brainwashed?
I do. I think they're very brainwashed. I think this election, that's a great question. And I've talked about this in a Twitter space for like an hour and a half. I think Elon Musk described it the best. Did you hear what Elon Musk said about women in his Pennsylvania town hall? I was shocked that he was willing to...
What did he say?
So Elon Musk was talking about how this election exposed women to be one-issue voters and that abortion is the...
Oh, shit. What happened to... Red?
Yo, Matrix got him.
But yeah,
Red,
women
back,
are
Red.
one-issue voters. Like they were voting on literally just abortion when Trump said multiple times that he wasn't going to get rid of Roe versus Wade. Like that he believed in the exceptions and he didn't even want to.
There he's back.
Run.
I accidentally pushed the wrong button, Red, and I got rid of you by accident. My bad.
No, it's all right. You got to bring someone else in. We're trying to get the stage full. But yeah, Elon was talking about how this election is exposed that women are single issue voters. And he said the reason is because of the massive propaganda through the school system that makes women think if they get pregnant that their lives are over. That's what Elon said. Elon said in the school system and in the culture, we have convinced women that if they get pregnant, that essentially their life is over, and that this election has actually exposed that mentality is something that we're really going to have to combat as conservatives. And I thought it was interesting. It's in his Pennsylvania town hall. I'm just kind of summarizing. He goes into a little more detail, but that's essentially was Elon's thoughts on this single issue voter from the female gender.
You know what's interesting? I think that when we say that, it's like a get out of jail free card for women.
Because it doesn't make them accountable? Because we're blaming the school?
No, not the school, but the brainwashing. I think that it's more fun to live life like a rock star, and most young women get to live lives like rock stars. And they have to pick living like going to concerts every weekend, maybe going on some yachts, or being straddled at home with 2 kids. And I think most people, when you get like the choice to live like a rock star and watch some kids, that most people would pick the living way, and that's kind of what we're like. It kind of makes sense when you think about it. Obviously, there's long-term negatives, like you can have less children. What are you going to do when you're old? But I feel like in the short term, like it kind of makes sense. That's what women pick, you know?
Yeah, but at that point, they'll blame society.
What?
Like, oh.
Over.
Yeah, I don't really. I think that women say things like that to get like a get out of jail free card. And again, like sort of like I hear women say that when they want to like blame other people for choosing to have an abortion, or maybe she didn't. I don't know, but like I don't really believe them. I think they felt like that because maybe they didn't get pregnant by the guy they wanted, or maybe they kind of looked at their friends going to college or doing like the fun thing. And they're like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the old saying that we've probably all heard at one point, is that a woman always reserves the right to change her mind. So when people want to wonder why women are like single issue and stuff like that, it's because they always want the ability to change their mind on stuff. They always want a safety net.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I always hear that we've been brainwashed, and I thought about it more, and I don't think it's necessarily like always clubbing or yachts. Like sometimes it's like in my early 20s, I wasn't brainwashed. I just wanted to play volleyball. Like that was really fun.
When you were in school,
I've said this.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, like it's not like you're thinking of like you're just thinking that sounds fun. And then
but when you were in school and playing volleyball, would it be fair to say that you've heard the messaging that if you got pregnant, it would ruin your college career, it would ruin your future? Did you hear that message personally as a woman? Were you educated in public schools in the West, or?
I mean, I don't think it's that common of a topic. I mean, like normally you go to school and you talk about like normal stuff. Everyone kind of assumed they would get like married and stuff. Just maybe, I don't think, but there was women that went to the same school as me that did get married young. So I think a lot of times women, they say that to the men to make them get sympathy from the men because it gives them like power. That's what I think. But really, I'm like thinking back, and there was one girl that we all went to high school with that got married right out of school, and a lot of people were like, "What? Why would you do that?" And it wasn't like we were saying. It was more just everyone was going to college, and that was like the fun thing to do, you know. And like, because the life cycle is you go to college, then you move to the city, and then it's like, yeah. I don't think it's like a brainwashing, and I think there's some women that just naturally they want to be mothers, but it's kind of like the fat kid. Like if you had a person that said they're brainwashed into being like a fat slob, you would be like, what? You'd be like, no, you wanted to do that, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the things I've said for a while, is that people have asked me like, oh, why does the brainwashing work on smart people too? I'm just like, because it's not really a matter of brainwashing. Yes, there's influence, but it comes down to a lot of these things, like even when you're talking about things like communism and socialism, why do people keep doing it even though it doesn't work? Because it looks good on paper. And people keep wanting to buy the lie that, oh, well, we just got to do it differently to do it better. But it's just like, no, it's just a bad policy in general. It just happens to look like a good recipe on paper. But every time you actually cook the thing, it turns out monstrous.
You know, like we all used to be farmers, right? And farming's really hard. And that's like what everyone used to do. But nobody like even though that was what society pushed, farming at the time, it was like easy to leave because it was hard, and like the other jobs were easier. You know, you're like married to cows when you're a farmer. According to my dad, he grew up on a farm, and he said it was
who married a cow? Poor guy. Poor guy.
Well, you're like married to, like, you can't leave that. Like, I mean, well, I guess people leave all the time. Bad analogy, but you know, like when my dad was like you can't even go away for like 3 days otherwise, unless you pay someone to watch the farm. It's like a whole thing. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like even though society pushed it, they said, "Oh hell no!" the second they could.
Yeah, because that it appeals to the path of least resistance. Again, like I said, human beings are naturally lazy, not because of
we want shortcuts. It's why fast food took off, Viking. Yeah,
well,
it's fast
calorie
food
conservation.
Yeah. Yep.
So as long as we understand our human nature, that's what a lot of what we're talking about comes down to is like, why did that girl spaz out in the hallway and went on a temper tantrum? Well, because she never really had to grow up, obviously. So when something doesn't go her way, she could just throw a tantrum and somebody's there to sympathize with her.
My dog wants to.
Let me take this opportunity to welcome Miss Cat, who's been streaming a lot lately with Mr. John MLD, as well as the one and only, slightly below average God amongst men, Thor.
What's up, Cat?
Hey,
What's
guys,
up,
how
Thor?
you doing, man? How you doing?
It's good to see you, Cat. Glenn, you know I did a show with Cat, right?
You did a stream with Cat?
I did a stream with Cat.
Yep.
Cat's like the Arabian Night version of Pearl.
She's way too cool for you now, Grid.
But Thor,
sir, can you hear me all right?
We could hear you. What do you think about the election?
Turned out how I predicted it. Exactly.
Did you predict all the liberal tears?
Yeah, I was on with John yesterday, and he asked me for predictions. So I have a little inside knowledge, though. I spent 2.5 years in politics in California. So, yeah. And I'm burned out.
Did you stay up the whole time, or did you sleep like Glenn, Thor?
Well, I stay up always. I never sleep through life. And watching the election is sleeping through life. Sorry. Voting's different, but yeah, I wouldn't waste my time watching that stuff. But I'll tell you this, watching the tears afterwards is absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
I've
been doing videos the whole day, Thor. I've got more if you want to watch more. Don't worry. We've got more. We've got a whole plethora.
Let's play a few more. Let's play a few more. I definitely want to, Thor hasn't seen the smash in the wall face yet. We'll just play that one at full regular speed, and then
I got one none of us have seen that we've got to watch, because I even haven't seen it. Someone sent me this one. I haven't seen it, so I definitely want to see this one, because the thumbnail just has me hooked. I mean,
all right,
right for the game.
I'm gonna
say
shout out to Chrono for the $5 super chat.
Chrono's a G.
Hail the Thunder Lord Thor Hammer. Hope you're doing well.
I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream just like you, my Viking son. How are you doing? Number one, you're out of the hospital. That's good.
I'm out of the hospital this time again.
Did you get your filters installed?
No, can't do the filters because it already passed through the lung, went to the lung.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can talk about that a little bit more afterwards.
Yeah.
No worries.
Like we were both just devastated, and you could just tell in her eyes. I can't believe this country did this again. Why did I let myself have hope?
Thor, you took away this poor girl's hope, Thor.
Believe it or not, I have a ton of sympathy for someone to be able to work themselves up into that much suffering based on just false
An
beliefs.
election, Thor. It's really scary.
It would be more than that. They're being trained like this. That's why, I mean, there is no firewall to the human brain. Between all your senses, there's nothing that will shut it down. And these folks on the politics, they know it, and they know how to get you. Human beings need suffering and they need strife, and they know exactly how to play on the fears. This is very scientific. I mean, they got it right from the guy that invented it, who ended up being a Nazi in real Germany in World War II. And human beings can be convinced of anything. I mean, you can convince a guy that he'll go to heaven and have nothing but a stream of virgins come to him if he goes and murders little kids and himself. And he believes it above everything else.
Edward Bernays did a ton of work in this area. I mean, I've studied Edward Bernays, and it's insane what they knew back then. I mean, that was a very long time ago, and
couple that with operant conditioning. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, like, my thing is like, okay, this girl's crying, and I don't think she's crying about the election.
Oh, okay? That was about.
No, I really don't. I think the election is an excuse. Yeah. She's crying about that haircut she has. Let's like put her back up. Bring her back up.
I can tell you exactly where they're crying.
Just look at this.
Walking down the street to go get my medication because I'm out.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, she tells you she's on medication right there. That's a huge problem we have in this.
If your mom cuts your hair like that, would you be crying too?
I would.
Yeah, Cass has nice hair, long hair.
Pearl, what about
Glenn,
you?
What do you think? What do you think for these gals like this? I honestly think it's a simpler problem is that they're not exposed to men in their lives that have a dominant masculine presence, because when they do, they will feel secure enough to make better decisions and not panic so much on things that really don't affect their lives.
Well, I mean, Thor, most of them don't even have male positive like influences that aren't like love interests. They don't have fathers. A lot of them. They don't have uncles.
I'm not even talking love interest. If you took that, I didn't mean that.
How could you have a love interest with someone?
I don't think they have that at all. I think a lot of them are growing up in single mother households, and their mothers are putting them on the same medications that they're on. I mean, that's happening at a very young age.
But how could you expect to have a man of interest in you with that hairstyle? Like that hairstyle alone.
And the nose ring. The nose ring. I hate that nose ring, man. It's everywhere. As soon as I see it, I know what the person's political belief. I shouldn't be able to look at you and know how you vote. It's crazy.
The hairstyle alone just says, I have hairy armpits and I'm a lesbian. True.
It really is. It really is.
I'll take the blue hair over that though. You know, not the originator of the blue hair though, not the Cuxony. Red, do we have another one?
Oh, we have a bunch. I've been trying to like I don't want to pick on the girls too much, so I've been trying to find a couple. There were some with the guys today, and they're pretty crazy. But the one that is like going uber viral, and I didn't play it in my stream, but I guess I should play it in yours. Is this one. This one has gone mega viral. This isn't the original. The original is like 4 million views already. It's going crazy.
I'm sorry. No. Why?
Do you really hate me that bad? I mean, that is sad. I mean,
we would
hope you're right. I hope you're right.
We would like to think that's acting, but I think that you guys, I think there's something seriously going wrong with these people today. Like, they're for real about this. Shout out to Teriak for joining the stream. What up, Teriak? How you doing?
Yeah, I just want to make a point because it's like why are like so many women clinging to like the Democratic Party, feminism, all this kind of stuff, and it's the same reason why you see a lot of these college students turn towards Marxism and things like communism, all this kind of shit. It's because if you're in a situation where even the college students, they must be intelligent, I have to be intelligent, but their life is shit. It's a lot easier to have something or a group of people to then point the finger at and say, it's not my fault, it's them that are keeping me down. And essentially, it's the same mentality in feminism that you see in Marxism. It's always, these are our enemies, and this is why you're suffering is because of them. And they don't see the fact that they don't put the two pieces together. It's like every single shithole city is a Democrat-run city. And they do that on purpose because if they get rid of the problem, then they don't have a reason for you to vote. And they kind of dropped their mask when they were saying, Trump wanted to run on the border, that's why he wouldn't fix the border. That's them leaking their internal plans. That's how they keep them suffering. There's a story from a black woman who was saying that like back in the day when one of her friends that was like who was basically a pimp, used to pimp her out and all that kind of stuff, he would only ever give her enough money to get by for that month because at the end of the month she'd then come back that paycheck, and that's how you keep them in the loop.
We have another one of these nose rings. I'm starting to notice a trend. I'm glad Thor's here. He's a master at noticing patterns, and I think that his insight's going to be really useful. I haven't seen this one. This one was sent to me while we were on stream. Let's go ahead.
He doesn't look like Ellen no more. He doesn't look like Ellen.
Yeah.
Did you bully him into getting a haircut, Glenn?
It was the Diddy allegations.
Cat
ever since the Diddy allegations came out, I had to distance myself from Ellen.
Well, was it the Diddy invites? No.
Yeah, like because Ellen and Diddy are best mates, I had to distance myself from that platform.
Not to mention, Ellen had the Epstein Island like background on her set forever. Let's see what this girl's gonna do.
Is she yelling because she just stepped on the scale?
That's all. I mean hey, at least she got it out. I mean, she didn't have a full freak out. I'll give her credit for that.
Was that because she just stepped on the scale and she realized instead of losing 5 pounds, she gained 10?
That's good. That's really good.
I mean, good Lord. You know, like Thor, what is the problem here?
Well, I think that these are TikToks, right?
These are all TikToks, and they keep coming. By the way, like while we're talking, people are sending me more. So
I've done a lot of TikToking, but it seems to me by watching them, they kind of get this pseudo relief as if they're talking to their girlfriends. You know, like a little coffee clutch. Even though they're broadcasting this to the internet, seems like they're able to vent and somehow get some usefulness or benefit by doing this.
A digital struggle session.
Embarrassing to me. It looks like it's showing no elegance, no class, but there must be a benefit. I haven't quite put my finger on it, but that's what I'm thinking is that it somehow gives them that validation, that external validation. Like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry for you. And as that comes in, it's very much like a large group of girlfriends.
It's a digital struggle session, Thor, and you're right. Because think about the psychology of you filming it. First, you have to set up the camera and film it. Then you do it. Then you watch it and you say, people are going to like this. And then you have to write a title and a description and hit upload. I mean, think about the whole psychology of that process.
Definitely looking for that external validation, yeah. And for their grief, right? Or pain.
Yeah, like the question is like, okay, with the amount of women, because we know that there's more women in the United States than men, right? Was this election a referendum on feminism?
Well, it boiled down to gender politics because identity politics is at the root of Marxism. Realize that it's the oppressor theme, and so when you use gender politics, it could be racial politics. Doesn't really matter. It's the bourgeoisie, right? It's the class warfare.
versus the proletariat, right? It's the bourgeoisie versus the proletariat.
Exactly. It's almost identical when you look at feminism, or let's just use gender. Let's say men versus women. It's very useful for them to do that. I believe they're actually blaming misandry as going rampant along with racism for the loss of Kamala Harris.
Misogyny. They said misogyny and racism are the reason she lost. That's what they said on The View this morning.
Yeah. You know, all politics. It's funny. All politics
or gender politics
is gender politics, really. And who was the famous guy that said, something about, everything's about sex and sex is just about power. So there you go. Yeah.
Now, so like, I'm wondering if this election, since this election was, about gender, are we going
that way? They always do when they're panicking.
So are we going to see,
I think it's already here. It's just under the surface. It's just how it's going to be.
Well, now the question is, like, because we always know that every 4 years the tradcons tend to go create distance with people in the red pill because red pill bad. Are we going to start? Are we going to see this I guess collaboration again, or are we still gonna see this like hatred towards the RP, or are we gonna see like this brotherly love bonding thing again?
Well, I can tell you, we didn't talk about Tim Walz and Doug Emhoff, and I think there is a national conversation around the spouses, right? Like, there's definitely a conversation around how Tim Walz is a weirdo. He's very feminine. He's like this Western squishy weirdo guy archetype. And the same thing can be seen in Doug Emhoff, who would have been the first gentleman, right? And I think there was a complete rejection, not by just the men in this election, but by the women in this election who said, I don't respect men like the one Kamala Harris is married to. I don't respect men like Tim Walz. In fact, I suspect Tim Walz might have done some weird stuff when he was a teacher and a coach because of his physiognomy is creepy to me, and he looks like the type of guy who could have done something when he was a teacher. And then they found out the guy got fired. So I do think there is going to be a conversation. I mean, you have Tate, announcing he's going to move back to the United States now that Trump won. I don't know what that is going to do for the American Western male live streamer audience, but Aiden Ross, the Nelk Boys, there are mainstream non-red pill content creators in the live streaming space right now that are talking a lot like the red pill creators have been for the past decade. And that's just my read on it.
That's a natural cycle. Well, I mean, we've seen it before.
I think a lot of us have learned too.
Me and Rollo saw this cycle before after elections. Guys, it will calm down and we will get a lot more people attracted in the red pill space. Why?
Let's go.
Because the tools that are there, they're actually true and they actually work. Bertholt's law, hypergamy. And when you understand nature, it's nice to be able to apply that in your own life. You'll see it'll start to grow again.
Well, now, so I
nothing's
want
gonna
to throw the
change.
question. I want to throw the question over to the grid.
Not a cycle. You mean it's a tricycle?
Like, I want to know if you think that if it does, if there is this collaboration again, is the space going to need to work on branding, marketing? Like, is there going to be a marketing problem?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of damage has been done, with regards to some of the charlatans that have used red pill.
Grid, your audio is really fucked right now.
Yeah, I don't think there needs to be any branding at all. It's all up to the individuals. I've been around from the beginning.
Grid, your audio.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm just.
I don't think that the issue is universal branding. It's going to be individuals, and they're going to say stupid shit. Some people say really good shit. It's up to the individual to filter that themselves. I think what we'll see is some return to the forum type stuff.
Goes back to the root of the conflict in the first place. What's the big conflict that quote tradcon types have with the quote RP types? It's typically the sex before marriage. It's things that Myron says, like, try to fuck 50 girls before you settle on one. Those are typically the there's no compromising that for most Christians.
Yeah,
right?
They don't like when we say the quiet part out loud.
What do you think, Grid? Let me get you in on here.
Sorry, Grid. I can't hear a word you're saying. Is it me, guys?
You got robot voice, Grid.
Yeah, you're coming in like a robot, Grid.
It's crackling a lot.
Probably rejoin.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. Much better.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I know, because Grid is streaming on Streamlabs as well. As we're waiting for Grid, Pearl, do you think like there's gonna be this like collaboration with the RP and the trads again?
Yeah, I think they'll be back because the red pill. There's an echo. Is that me? Someone else?
Maybe it's me. Hang on.
Well, I don't know. I just think the red pill will always be there. So at some point, the trads will be back. Like, they're not going to be able to not, like, the birth rate's declining, and so is marriage. The trends aren't changing anytime soon. I don't see any evidence that it's going to change in the near future. So they kind of have to look at reality at some point.
Yeah, red pill is the uncomfortable truth for a reason, right? That's all it is. People try to put that label on it so that way they can put it in a box, a straw man that they can beat up. Say, "Hi, I got you, red pill straw man, bad guy. Ooh, you bad red pill straw man, you." But it's just like, no, this is actual solutions. I don't think that there's ever gonna not be a collaboration, Glenn, because the thing is that the problems that men have in the secular world are the same problems the Christians are having.
It's
the same problem because it has to do with human nature. So you're always going to have a demand for it until people start accepting the truths that actually prevent and solve these problems, which has to do with masculine leadership.
Well, it's
like
the way that they package and sell masculine leadership, right? That's the problem. They make it real man is docile and weak, and lets the lady, defers to the woman, right? That's what a real man does. A real man is not, insecure about her body count, right? A real man, doesn't matter about that. That's how they package and they sell it. So
yeah, but none of those
I'm
guys
wondering, is it
even
a
marry those
marketing?
type of girls.
But I'm
They all
wondering,
marry
is there a
virgins.
marketing problem? Is there going to be a branding issue, or something like that's going to change?
Like the thing for the non-secularist is, or the religious focus, that it's like, if you want to be part of the community, if you want to grow with the community, then marriage makes sense. But what Viking's saying there, and this is what Andrew Wilson often kind of points out, is that for the secularists, like, you can't make a logical case to get married, especially in modern times, because it's the worst contract you can possibly sign in your life. And like that's a question that needs to be answered if you want any hope for there to be a major swing to it. And yeah, we can try use government to try and balance the playing field with what Grid was saying about keeping ourselves in check as well. You got to make sure you're not just giving like these deadbeat dads or these assholes that like a get out of jail free card. Because if you go all the way the opposite direction, then you have like piece of shit guys that are just kind of using and abusing kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very difficult question to ask, but at least the red pill is there stating the case. It's bringing the questions forward. It's just the red pill has never been about actually giving the advice. It's about just pointing out the truths that are there.
Yeah. I was just kind of wondering, because every election we see this divide between the RP space and the trads, and it seems like they go to war. And while those two spaces are going to war, you got the liberals on the other side are attacking both of them, and it's like there's this. It's almost like we fight amongst ourselves. We defeat ourselves, so our enemies have an easier chance at defeating us.
Well, we all vote the same way, and there's a divide between Democrats too. There's like centralist Democrats and the progressives.
Yeah, so I know Red's about to hop off.
I mean, this whole thing with the tradcons and with the conservatives flirting with the red pill after we flirt with them even after the elections. We always do. Remember Dalrock? Remember all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Low posted religion. We flirt with them all the time. It's not going to go away. It's just going to ebb and flow, for sure.
Well, but see, the way I look at it is like, since most of them are within the same voting group, right? Like they tend to vote for the same policies.
Right.
They do lean right, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, is like, are there going to be this constant, beef? Because if they're fighting amongst themselves, and how can we really get the things changed and moving in the direction that we, overall want to see done, rather than the dividing and the fighting is going to just continue to slow us down from moving with the policies and the things that we want to see changed.
Well, Glenn, I think the Overton window has moved more towards the red pill since Elon Musk has bought X, number one. And look at what's happening with Patrick Bet-David. I'm not a fan of all of Patrick Bet-David's, content, but he bought a new studio. He's got a new studio, and he's recruiting live streamers. And he realizes that the type of content, the biggest live streams in the world, we have it in our head that it's like the iShowSpeeds, the Kai Cenats. That's what like the popular culture thinks it is. But it's not. When you look at the number, it's Dan Bongino, it's Alex Jones, it's Tucker Carlson. Well, these guys are at the end. They're at the sunset of their career. I'm not saying they're all going to disappear in the next 5 years, but these are older men in their 50s. between that. Look at what happened with the Nelk Boys and Aiden Ross and all these content creators during the Trump election cycle. I think that's going to be a new normal. And now that Trump's elected, it's going to be more common for streamers who would previously not go against the woke agenda. They're actually going to come out and flirt with creating content against these social problems. I think that they opened the door.
And that brings me to Pearl again, is that, you know, did Pearl, Pearl was coming up during a lot of this anti-hate red pill, all this other stuff. So Pearl paved the way in many regards, and Pearl, Rolo, Myron, and Fresh, you know, from, you know, whatever, Andrew, she paved the way for a lot of these content creators to come up, you know. So are we going to start seeing a lot more of that? Are we going to start seeing more creators talking about these social issues in regards to what's best for society rather than what's best for feminism? Is the question. Are we going to start seeing a shift in that as well?
That's a yes and no.
I'm not sure what you mean, Glenn. When you say for society, I mean, if we talk about feminism, it affects society, right?
Well, okay, we all know that feminism doesn't benefit society. Feminism benefits an individual, right? So a lot of the
wouldn't you agree that it is a supremacy movement?
Oh yeah, it's obviously
based in Marxism. So
absolutely,
it is about society.
Well, but there is about controlling. That's not what's best for society. They're about controlling society.
But it goes back to what I was saying about the groups of people and just being able to throw all your shortcomings to another group of people, the enemy. In Marxism, it's proletariat, the bourgeoisie. You're the proletariat. You're basically being manipulated. You're being used and abused. All this kind of mentality, and it's like there is that part on the right wing as well. And like what we're just saying is like we need to be able to hold ourselves accountable. But for me, in order for Red Pill to make that step forward, there needs to be those those solutions that are clear that they can then push, or then they can then provide. But again, the Red Pill is not a monolith. We can't, like we're just saying, you have to be able to hold call people out if they give shit advice, all this kind of stuff as well. But like certain things, like if you're in a shit financial situation, the first question be like, okay, what's your budget? And if they're like, oh, I've never done a budget, well, that's the reason why you're in a shit financial situation. You're not controlling your spending. You're not actually working out how much are you spending each month, how much you spend on food, how much you spend on this, how much you spend on that. So that's one clear thing that you could start pushing, where it's like we're doing budgeting this week, or we're talking about finances this week. We're talking about how we invest our money, how we putting distributing are we diversifying our portfolio, the actual good diversity, not just hiring someone because they're a different skin color. Essentially, do you know what I mean? On the flip side to it as well, like I said, you have to make sure that you're not kind of going too far the other way as well. Like for example, there's obviously the button heads off the Red Pill and the Tricon community, but then there's also the pickup artists that are trying, like they're in the shadows per se, but they're the kind of guys that it doesn't matter what you are, just say this one line and you're guaranteed to get pussy. But there's no end goal in sight. There's no building towards like a family or something that's concrete, like that kind of thing. It's just about getting your dick wet, essentially. You know what I mean? So it needs to be something where it's like you're providing solutions that actually work and that take people out of the quote unquote misery that they're in. And you basically
don't you think that a lot of these people like the misery that they're in?
What you just said, brother, I have no clue what you just said. Can you make it
simpler? What I'm talking about is solutions. So like I said, in terms of the
okay, tell me a solution. Give me one. Give me one.
Yeah. So if people are in money problems, teach them how to budget. So I have a video where like I give out a free guide or a free template on the Excel sheet to be able to actually it's already kind of like coded in all the formulas, all the stuff to be able to track all your spending.
Okay, maybe I wasn't clear. You one solution for the Red Pill. We're talking about the Red Pill offering solutions.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Do you have one? I didn't follow. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't hear right.
Yeah. So again, like one typical thing that like I'm pretty sure Fresh and Fit is addressed this as well is about money problems. You got to get your money up, but just using that as a buzz phrase doesn't really help anybody. It's saying that people are struggling financially, but how do you get?
We're talking the Red Pill, right? Now we're jumping to financial issues. I'm confused.
So would you not consider like getting your money up as part of like the red pill?
No, I've been there since the beginning.
Okay,
What it was
you...
about was human intersexual dynamics. It was about finding out the truth of how men and women interacted with each other in all relationships. And you can go back in history, you can find that out. We exchanged notes, we had forums, we had a lot of that stuff. So I guess I'm confused with, if we're talking red pill in terms of politics, I'm lost. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't follow.
Yeah, so if you look at males at the moment, three quarters of them are overweight or obese, and they have money problems. Like that's looking at like sheer concrete. You can actually fucking measure this.
That's everybody.
That they have these things. So how do you elevate men? Would be the next question. And then from that, it's you got to be able to make sure that you get on top of your finances. So how do you do that? You do that by budgeting. Are you keeping track of your finances?
Thor, I got a question for Thor. Are you finished here? I want to make sure you're finished up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Tariq. I appreciate you trying to clarify that.
Yeah, I appreciate that too, Tariq. Thor, I have a question for you because I follow G. Edward Griffin, and I finally have been able to talk to him for a very long time.
The creature.
The creature from Jekyll Island, yes. And one of the things that he talks about, going back to his Yuri Bezmenov interview about demoralization, the Soviet defector, right?
Beautiful.
One of the things that he talked about, and I want to get your take on this because you have been part of the red pill for a long time, is his definition is different than what the red pill has become today. And his definition was that if the Soviet demoralization campaign is going to take place, to him, a counter ideology needed to be established to counteract the Soviet demoralization campaign. And to me, there's been a argument of what that counter ideology should be, and some would define it as the red pill. The red pill is the counter ideology to the demoralization, degeneration of Western society. Do you think that the issue comes that there isn't a unified counter ideology to what we have experienced through what Yuri Bezmenov was describing, the degeneracy and the demoralization of Western values? Do you think that the issue comes there?
On target. I mean, yes. I mean, to do what he wanted to do is you do have to create a counter ideology, and don't make any mistakes about it. The Soviets was an ideology. It's a Marxist ideology versus a capitalist ideology.
Exactly.
And they're opposed in many, many ways to just the fundamental rules of life. Now, one's very left wing, one's very right wing, but realize that both sides actually enslave people's minds. It is the slave mind mentality. So in some ways, it's just two sides of the same coin. When it comes to the red pill, I think where we get in a lot of trouble is that
all right, guys, can you hear me? I've muted them, so I'm just going to talk to you guys for a minute. Welcome to everybody. I hope that you can actually hear me because it would be way different. Yeah, the red pill thing is just overplayed and it's boring, and I just don't care that much about it. I kind of know when RP Thor comes on, that's it's going to become it's going to be red pill and red pill adjacent until he leaves. So I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes while they're doing that, and you guys can enjoy my sultry tones. I'm not really sure why I'm having such an issue with the sound tonight. It should be broadcasting all of the sound from the. It should be broadcasting their broadcast directly, since I'm sharing the screen, but for whatever reason, it's not. So it's really annoying because if I put their volume up enough where I can hear it, then you guys then it starts echoing and I get feedback. So it's really annoying right now. And I haven't tried this before. I think that the way to do this is to be I may need to have set it up a little differently, and I just don't have time to do it right now. So I apologize about that. The whole red, devolving into red pill. I mean, even Pearl left because you know, it's just evolves into just red pill this, red pill that. It was an interesting election. I want to make sure that you guys know that wait, what just happened here? Let's close that. There we go. Yeah, I might be able to use a headset. I don't like using headsets, but yeah, I mean I've got one, so I could try that. Then I'll wear my Tim Pool setup. But guys, if you guys are you know, entertained by I really want to talk about the election itself. I disagree with you, Anson. I think that it was a resounding smack in the face how massive the loss was, and I think that it's you know, I think it's really interesting. I may jump off of this. Let me talk to Glenn for a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna probably give me a minute. I'm gonna just check out and see what's going on with Glenn and where they're going with it. And if they're just going to continue down the red pill, I have no interest in that. And there's no point in getting into it anyway. So let me just, I'm going to mute you guys again. You guys have fun, and I'll be right back.
Absolutely. And you know what? Secretly, a lot of the guys that are in the red pill that have been it and they're players, they've been players for a long time, they would like to have a wife and family. Ultimately, that's what they'd like.
I appreciate that like answer.
Certain people that are in it that might have 2 or 3 wives and lots of kids.
Different strokes for different folks, right, Thor? I really want to thank you.
Advertise.
Like, wouldn't you think like that's where I'm talking about the branding? Because I know there's guys in this space, you know, that would love to have a wife and kids. Some of them are in LTRs and they're in long-term relationships and they have, you know, kids and everything. So so a lot of these guys, they have their own family creations, but it seems like the struggle with like the trads and other groups is that they don't promote so much the family creation that they have individually. And people are like, well, wait a minute. That's why I'm wondering if there's going to be, if these two like groups are going to collaborate again, is there going to have to be a branding issue to where they could get it, they could agree with?
Just a mutual respect, Glenn. And I just want to thank you, Thor. I'm really glad we had a chance to talk. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I want to thank Kat. We did a great interview. Yeah. It was really nice meeting you, Thor. Thank you so much for your thoughtful answer. Glenn, I'm giving you an air horn, my friend. You have been the master. I appreciate all the opportunities to collaborate with you.
Thank you.
Hey, if you guys aren't following Glenn on X, he's going in spaces and he's dropping some serious knowledge. So make sure you're following him on X. Thank you guys so much for having me. I have to head out, but you guys were incredible. This was a great panel. And Thor, get with me in the back channel. Grid, I already got you in the back channel. Kat, you too, Viking. It was a pleasure, all of you guys. You get an air horn. Thank you for having me.
All right, Red. Well, I will chat with you probably tomorrow in spaces somewhere. Until then, sir. Did you have your link? Drop your link.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll drop my YouTube link. Thanks.
Definitely.
But just
Red's a good guy. Red's a good guy that made me go buy a new Hero 12.
Dude, I can't wait to see the content you make, man. We got some great videos coming.
I got some stuff together on there. This is cool.
Oh, you got the new camera?
Yep. The new GoPro Hero 12 creator pack. Really cool. Really cool. But yeah, so I'm just like, Grid, are you seeing like, what do you think is going to be the next steps after this election? Like, because this election was really a referendum on feminism. The way I look at it, when you break it down to like the man versus woman aspect of it, it was feminism. Like you know, feminism was definitely on the side of Harris. The policies that they were trying to implement, just their talking points, the socialism, the Marxist kind of you know worldview, that was all there on the left. So the right is against feminism. So you would think that like this is going to be a war between the feminists and everyone else. So
I mean, I don't know that it was a referendum on feminism. I think that it's a referendum on a bunch of different things, right? Like, I think that this election realistically was the people of America being fed up at the cost of everything in their lives, how poorly they were treated in every aspect. You can't hear me?
You're just in and out. Your audio is like robot again.
Not sure
It's
why.
so weird. I mean,
I wonder if it's because you're streaming it too, like, you know. I wonder if it has to do with that. I don't know.
Yeah, usually when you hear audio, in my experience, when you hear audio coming through like that, that's usually one of those ones that requires like a machine reboot, like the PC reboot or something like that, like whatever the main audio interface, that's like one of those cascading errors.
Oh.
It's they're saying, oh, hold on. Michigan Christian said it's only on this channel, guys. YouTube is having problems today. It's YouTube.
Could be.
Oh. Okay.
How would that be YouTube? That's it.
Real bad grid. Hop back in. Just hop off and hop back in.
Hey, Glenn.
Well, is my audio bad over here? Anyone? Is my audio bad? Yeah. All right. All right. Stand by, guys. Let me fix this. Try to anyway.
because a lot of women really, I talked about this before, a lot of women know the truth about abortion, guys. They do know. The problem is they'll sit there and lie to themselves, and they don't regret it until after the fact. And that's when people like my women, or like my mom, came into play. Where
you got women?
These women. Well, my mom, when I was growing up, she counseled these women that were either battered or were going through depression from, off of their kid. And a lot of them would admit that, at first I thought it would be all good and I'd be strong and it would be all, sunshine and rainbows type shit. No, just morbid depression and realizing what they'd fucking done.
It's interesting. Like Lauren B just comes in. She's like, Glenn seemed extra cranky talking to Destiny. And like, Kat, I want your opinion, Kat. Did this seem extra cranky to you?
Is the Make America Great Again movement would not exist without massive amounts of disinformation.
What's up, Steven?
Hi, what's up?
So, tell me, misinformation, you mean like fake dossiers or like rhetoric that has the president get assassinated, or attempts to get assassinated? You mean like that kind of misinformation?
Just like, for instance, would you acknowledge that all this about Hunter Biden and his illegal dealings with Burisma and Joe Biden, like profiting off that, that's all fake news too?
No, I just know he does a lot of cocaine.
Okay.
Do you do cocaine with him?
No, I don't.
You coom with him?
Not recently, no.
Because you are the Coomer Gremlin, right?
Am I the Coomer Gremlin?
Well, we know you are.
Yeah? Like Donald Trump is? When he was like a prostitute, like 4 years or 4 months after his wife had a child at home when he was cheating with Stormy Daniels?
You mean like how you
remember
take your wife to go get banged out by a bunch of dudes and suck
Am I running
the
for
dude's
president
dick?
right now? Are you going to vote for me or?
No, I wouldn't vote for you.
So do you remember when Donald Trump was fucking Stormy Daniels?
No, but do you remember
4
when you were
months
sucking a
after?
dick on,
4
like,
months after? 4 months after she had a child? You remember that?
Sometimes a nice fucking throbbing dick is a nice throbbing dick, you know?
Nigga! Hey, stop! That's gay!
You remember that?
You notice that?
Remember that?
That's great.
Yeah, Glenn.
Did I sound cranky to you? I don't think that was cranky.
Nah,
I mean,
that's my
I'd be
bull in the
cranky
China shop.
too
You
if
did
I was
good.
having to talk to a Coomer Gremlin, but that's just me.
I mean, he's the Coomer Gremlin. Kat, so what do you think?
I didn't see that. I need to see the whole thing, but I mean, it wasn't angry. It was funny.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought it was great. Grid is back. So Grid.
Man, you got a comedic talent, man. You got to develop that. You got to start doing some stand-up and shit.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, to answer that question, Thor, actually, I did meet up with somebody that does stand up, and we're gonna be collaborating on some things. But Grid, I wanted your to get back to what you were saying about the messaging or like the marketing aspect, like the problem that we may see here.
You can hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Good.
Perfectly loud and clear.
Awesome. So just curious. I mean, so I don't know what marketing Red Pill really has or cares about. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, you either, to me, I think Red Pill at this moment is like a buffet menu. It's a set of descriptors and people choose the role models that they think fulfills those descriptors the best. Or they don't choose any role models at all, and they just kind of read it and do it as they see fit. So I'm not sure how branding or any of that really matters to Red Pill. But I'm not in the Red Pill. I'm not Red Pill. I at best in the Red Pill neighborhood ish, maybe the block next to the block with Red Pill. But
Glenn, can I ask a clarifying question when you're done?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
So on the branding thing, I do think that since it's been co-opted as Red Pill, that you might be right. We need a little bit something different. And we discussed this once before. We used a movie analogy to express truth, right? Take the red pill you can see, because that's what the Matrix was. Blue pill, you stay asleep. You know, there was actually a movie that had an analogy that was made before the Matrix that did it really, really well. It was made with Roddy Piper. It was called They Live. And they made these special sunglasses called Hoffman glasses. There was a signal being broadcast since World War II that affected the brain. and it enslaved everybody, and they saw what they needed to see. They put the glasses on, they could see subliminal messages everywhere. And when they saw people in power, they realized that aliens had come in World War II and taken over the entire world when they put these glasses on. And the big model there was they live, we sleep. So for us to reband, I'd like it to just be we live, they sleep.
Yeah, there has to be like there would have to be some common ground that they could like, because I think like this election, the divisiveness between the two spaces was so ugly. There were like, so much mudslinging and just attacks on from both sides that like that divided it just divided that group. And I'm wondering like how can the two groups,
when you say branding though, do you want something like a brand that's really simple or some kind of motto?
Well, I'm just wondering because like I'm just saying like the overall like the TradCons, they have a horrible brand, but
yeah,
and then you got the RP has had some very bad PR over time, so I'm wondering how does the two that once used to work together actually get back working together without all the mess.
Because like just to give an example in terms of, because like what the conversation you were having over at Red, where it was like and Viking was in it too, this whole kind of thing of like where Myron will say you have to sleep with 50 women so then before you can settle down. So as a TradCon, like they'll be vehemently opposed to that. But how would you, the question would then become, how do you understand women without having to sleep with 50 women?
Yeah, well, that's true.
25.
You don't have to sleep with 50 women to understand women,
25.
But even Myron walked that back. Myron has even.
It's not a load of horse crap. Guys that have done that, what they're saying is this actually is amazingly works. However, that's not for everybody. They're not saying that it's fake. It's a very in shitty taste to broadcast that. You don't need to get that number. But the guys that do achieve that number are amazing players. They're right about that. They're not wrong. They understand more than almost all of us. Does that make them morally right? Up to you. You decide what's right and what's wrong. They give us kind of a bad name by doing stuff like that because they really offend the TradCons quite a bit.
Because like, I'm thinking
wrong.
I look at like, if you look at Andrew, right? Andrew, he walks amongst both. He walks as that tightrope in between.
That's because he's John Constantine in real life.
He calls both parties out. He calls the red pill out for what he sees. But he does. He's the Yes. Well, when I say walk the line, he's the one that he's able to bridge the conversation between both parties. Like he has been on with Fresh and Fit. He has done work with Rolo. He has been the one that from the you want us to call it religious left or right or whatever. He has been one from that would fall into the TradCon side that has been able to collaborate, work with, and build that bridge of communication as well as collaboration that most people can't do. And I'm wondering, is it all going to kind of like we need more Andrews around to build that bridge, or is there going to be a way to build that bridge after this election? Because this was a really bloody war between those two spaces, figuratively speaking.
I think you're doing it, Glenn. I think that probably Andrew could do it. Guys like me on the other side, I'm not a practicing Christian, although I've been trained. You know my circumstance, so I would not be the person to do that. However, you do know that I've worked with just about every single entity in the red pill. I just don't advertise it or even go on. And they're more friends, and I think a lot of them would be willing. It's just that too much clout chasing on both sides.
Fair.
Is a bit of a barrier.
Because like that's why I brought up the example of the 50 bodies question.
Yeah.
If you can resolve that, then you have that one message where it's like, this is what you need, not sleep with 50 women, but whatever else you can do to understand women.
Andrew and Myron, they did talk about that, and Myron did walk that back, actually.
Yep, he did.
Yeah,
So,
he
like,
explained the
he
context of like what the point of saying that is. Like, the idea is to get you to do the actual training to
Like
get
you're
you
going
the
to.
real information. Now, do you absolutely have to do that to get that information? No, you don't. That's the reality. The problem is that the most reliable way to get that information that's been tested by time immemorial? Yeah. And that's an uncomfortable truth.
But I think the point I'm trying to make is that it's like, you can read all you want about swimming, like, but you won't be able to learn how to swim unless you actually do it. And I think that's what you're trying to say as well, Viking. But a great thing that Andrew's able to do is he's able to dissect like that argument where it's like sleeping with the women. Like, he's able to take a logical argument and say, well, you say the sleep with 50 women, but you also want a woman that has a low body count. But if every man sleeps with 50 women, then every woman naturally is going to have 50 bodies, and then you basically have this conflicting. You have a contradiction in your logic, essentially. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying though is that there needs to be that new message where it's like, you need to do X, Y, and Z, which is what you're saying as well, Viking. It's like, these are the things that you will need to do in order to understand women, but not necessarily preach the message that I have to get a body count of 50, otherwise I'm not going to be able to settle down.
Well, not necessarily, because women don't go for every man. They only go really for the top 10 or 20% of men. Like, even when I
Well, yep. Well, because they want it to be about love. They want to sell that marriage is all about love. People weren't getting married, hundreds of years ago for love. They're getting married to consolidate, assets and land and families. Yeah. It wasn't about love and how you feel. It was more of a business dealing in that sense. I mean, you're just like, well, it is like in that sense, like, because before the election, you saw the Tradcons and the Red Pill, align and work together. And so it is political in the sense of this election was, well, what I'm saying is, like, this election obviously was against feminism. So the two groups that are against feminism.
That's true.
Yeah. You're too busy working on your plane. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, when were rates under 2? When were the rates under 2? I thought the lowest it got was like 2.5. Yeah, yeah, but you said 1 3/4.
I mean, I really think that if you look at like the policies that Harris was pushing, very socialistic policies, very very feminist, like it falls in line in the Marxist, feminist narrative. So that's why I say it seemed like it was a referendum of feminism, because everything that she was, campaigning on really were like, in a way, feminist talking points, like from that Marxist view. So that's why I said it.
Yeah, I think people realized it was a distraction. I think that's what it was.
But I can give an example on this because it is like I said, the same ideology where it's like this other group is the enemy. All your shortcomings is because of this group. But at the end of the day, like when you talk about like the finance and all that stuff being a part of it, it is true. But like to give an example of this, it's very easy for the left to like their message is easy. We'll give everything for free. But what that actually means is the taxpayer is going to foot the bill, and we're going to increase taxes. And basically for the end user,
real quick. Thor got to hop off. He has to go take care of some things. Want to give him last final words here before he takes off.
Thanks, man. No need for that. Hey, I just dropped a free gift for you guys in the chat. You can get a free chapter of my book, A Dominant Masculine Presence. I think you guys will get a good read out of it for sure. It's right up there. I can tell you about it.
Right there.
Definitely bring it in. Yep. Thank you,
that's
guys.
from Paul. There it is, right there. All right, guys.
Thank you, brother. You be good.
I will. We'll talk soon.
All right.
All right. Bye. All right. Sorry, Tara. Go ahead. Finish, please.
Yeah, so again, shout out to Thor. But like that's what I'm saying. It's like their kind of main message is easy because they'll just say, "Oh, we'll give it to you for free. Any problems you're having, we'll give it to you for free." But what the underlying code is, it's not actually free. Someone has to pay for it, and it's the taxpayer. And then what people don't realize is by the time when they're doing their taxes in July or whenever they do their taxes, they have less money in their account essentially because they're paying more taxes for it. So it's the way you counteract that is the for example, like with Kennedy. Like he was the greatest way to point this out was with Kennedy because they were saying we'll give you more, we'll give you cheaper insulin with subsidies, which again is just more taxpayers' money that's getting spent on this shit. Rather than just basically fight for lower drug prices, you say I'm going to clean up the food, so you won't have diabetes. You're going to be healthier. Make America healthy again, and that's how you're able to counteract this. But it's very difficult. It's a much more harder position to take.
So what do we think now? Let's go back to a few things. Trump has won the election. He is the president-elect again. But things are not he's not out of the clear. He has a sentencing hearing on the 26th where he's, I believe it's the sentencing for the 44 counts of fraud or whatever it is, election fraud, or is that the one in New York, right? It's in New York. He still technically he has not got appeal to change the sentencing or the verdict. So he's still considered a felon, and he still has a sentencing hearing. Do you think that they are going to use this as an opportunity to keep him from taking the Oval Office? Although being charged for the felony or having a felony doesn't keep you out of the office. But do you think there's going to be a way to try to keep them out of the office with this?
I think, like James said, there's a small chance that the Democrats do kind of grow up and pardon Biden. Biden pardons Trump. I wouldn't say it's likely, but also if he does that and then he also pardons his son, it'll be like an even exchange, and no one on the right will have a gripe with it. I think a lot of leftists will be like, "How could Biden do this?" Da, 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 da. But no one on the right's going to be like complaining about it. Everyone's going to be like, "Ah, it's equal." Maybe like one or two people on our side might be like, "How do we take that deal?" Like Hunter Ron jail or whatever. But I mean, like I said, like with negotiation, we're going to be more willing to accept that deal than the left is. The left is going to have a meltdown if Biden does that. That's the only thing, that reason why I would think they're not going to do it. If Trump would have lost last night for whatever reason, I think they would have done it for sure. Because after that, Trump's gone. Basically, he's not going to run in 2028. So, but because he won, I don't think it's as likely to happen now.
Raging Patriot comes in with a notice here. He said the DOJ Jack Smith was fired today. All counts were dropped.
Which counts? The ones in New York or the ones in Georgia?
Well, the ones in New York were the 44 counts that he was convicted of.
Yeah, but it's all the same charge. It's all falsifies in business records, which, like, in the grand scheme of things, they're trying to blow it up to make it seem like whatever he did with Stormy Daniels, regardless if he did it or not, was the crime, which it wasn't. It was the way he labeled the $200,000 NDA, which she technically broke when she spoke about it. So realistically, that should have just been thrown out. Like, they only brought that case just to make Trump look like a felon. Like, the three options when they gave it to the jury were all to make him a felon. They just wanted to make Trump a felon because when people think of a felon, what do you think of? Think of a murderer, you think of a rapist, you think of a thief, right? You don't think of someone who did their taxes and they labeled something wrong.
Well, look at what Destiny in that clip that Glenn had was even trying to say about that. Oh, look, shaming him like, oh, he had sex outside of marriage. He was fucking a porn star when his wife had just had a kid and probably didn't want to put out, and so he fucking got a porn star to fuck him. I mean, that sounds like a good solution to the problem. And he got an NDA, so it wouldn't be messy and make the family look bad. But once again, now what are they trying to do? Weaponize the quote shame of that act to basically completely derail and distract away from what the man's actually about. Like, oh, because he got his nuts off on a porn star and paid her to shut the fuck up, that means that he can't be a good president.
Well, I mean, that to me is like selective accountability. I mean, no one booed Bill Clinton when he spoke at the DNC, and look what he did. Like, being Monica Lewinsky is now like forever going to be in the dictionary, right? Look at all the shit that Biden has been accused of and seen, and recently with the baby eating or biting or whatever the fuck. Like, there's degenerate. Oh, look at Doug Emhoff, right? He impregnated his nanny and then forced her to get an abortion. Like, where's all the fuss about all that shit? But no one cares. But as I'm saying, selective accountability. Like, Trump gets accused of something, no evidence, and he gets accused he's guilty. But all these people on the left get accused of shit. But no, they're on the left, so if they do more investigation, not enough evidence, okay, that didn't happen.
So do you think like all these cases are just going to be miraculously disappeared?
I think it'd be nice, and it would make the country go into a good direction overall for everybody. But because of the meltdowns, like if the left was more like, I was pissed in 2020 when what happened, right? I was super pissed, right? But I didn't think for a second to go, ride in the streets. I didn't think about quitting my job and doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't go on a tirade on Instagram, whatever. Hell, people even unfollowed me just because I voted for Trump. Like, some of my friends back in the day from then unfollowed me, even though their person won or allegedly won, right? So I just don't get the mindset of these people that they're going crazy about it, and they can't even bitch about the Electoral College anymore like they did in 2016 because Trump won the popular vote too, and we won the Senate, and we're going to keep the House, and we have the Supreme Court. So I just don't get this whole meltdown that they're having, and I think because of that, and because of just what Kamala said in her concession speech, I think they're more likely to go hard because they're like, well, we either have to kill him by January or we have to make it that he can't go into office, and maybe Vance just becomes president, and then he chooses a new VP. Because bare minimum, at least a Democrat's not going to be in office. But I think that's going to be the new angle, is like to avoid him to take that oath on January 20th.
I mean, I definitely think there's going to be an effort to try to still keep him out of office. I mean,
they did in 2016. Raskins, Sheila Jackson Lee, may she rest in peace. Well, I'm saying that.
But they all fought. That was before he had Elon behind him. Now they got this going on, you guys.
Dark.
Hold on.
Let you down. This is Donald Trump's house, brother. I will always give you my love. America is a nation of believers, dreamers, and strivers. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. We will bring back our wealth. And we will bring back our dreams. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
And it's kind of hard to compete with that type of propaganda. That was some good stuff. But do you think that stopping him is a possibility? And here, you guys got to remember, it wasn't just like he was being stopped last time just by the Democrats. He had members in his own party against him and working against him. What is going to be the grid? You know, what does Trump have to do differently this time than he did last time to actually get, you know, his policies and stuff through? Because I mean, he had the Democrats against him, and then he had the Republicans working against him. Did grid freeze? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm sorry. My bad.
No worries. I was just wondering, what are your thoughts are like with this election? Like now that he won, how's he going to be able to, like, is he going to be, you know, able to do anything, or does he have to do something different than last time? Because the Democrats, they weren't the only enemy that he had last time. He had members in his own team, his own party.
Glenn, side note, Daily Wire called Arizona and Nevada for Trump.
They just called it for Trump?
Daily Wire did. Daily Wire.
Oh, Daily Wire? Well,
yeah.
I don't know if we consider Daily Wire.
Well, I mean, every other prediction they had was correct. So.
Okay.
And just telling you, like I was here when I voted yesterday, I think he won here easily.
Okay, cool.
And he's up 5. And he's up 5 points right now. So.
Good. Back to you, Grid.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by the Daily Wire thing. What were you asking me?
I'm asking, what does Trump have to do differently this time than he did last time in order
What does
for
he
things
have
to
to
be
do
successful?
differently? I don't think
Yeah,
he
because,
has
I
to
mean,
do
like,
anything differently. He could literally just do the same shit he did the first time, and we'd be better off.
Well, I mean, he had enemies not only against, not the Democrats, not just the Democrats were his enemies, but he had Republicans that were plotting against him, that were working against him. What is he going to have to do differently this time around in order to avoid all the bullshit? Like, is he going to have to compromise more with the Republican Party?
No, I think he's done compromising. Honestly, I think. Well, first of all, he doesn't have to run for election again. Once he's done with this, he just goes back to running his businesses and says, "Fuck all you guys."
But there would be still enough, like just how like last time when he got out, they tried to lock him up. Now you could say they were trying to lock him up so he didn't run again, right?
Yeah,
But
I think that's well. It doesn't matter what they try to do, because once he's president, he can pardon all his sins, and they're not going to be able to charge. They get into double and triple jeopardy and all that nonsense. So they fucked up, honestly, by charging him to begin with, because now he can just go in, pardon himself, or have Vance do it. Either way, doesn't matter.
They're going to say it's unconstitutional.
And so they really fucked up. And now once he gets out of office, he can't be charged. So he's literally going to walk. It honestly doesn't matter what he does at this point. Now, what I think he's going to do, is I think we're going to have a real referendum on spending. I think he is going to do everything he can to put in and I think he learned how easily his safeguards and measures were corrupted. Like the second he lost, the interesting thing about Trump's presidency is that it's a divided presidency. So he got to see exactly what they would change if they, it's like you never know what people say behind your back until you're hiding around the corner. Well, he got the ultimate hide around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by that?
Well, he got to see exactly what they're going to do when he's out of office. Especially if Vance doesn't get let's just say that if it goes blue next time, which I doubt it will, but let's just say that it does. If it does, then I think that what you're really going to see is you're going to see Trump. The measures he puts in place, he's going to put safeguards in, I think, so that he cannot be overturned, right? And or it's going to be really hard for them to undo what he has done. And those could look like treaties with other countries. He's got both the House and Senate, and I think that he has the juice to pull the Republicans together to get behind a vision. I think he can sell them on a vision of prosperity, and the Republicans need it, right? Like they know that they're going to go into the next election, and if they don't make the economy better, they're not going to survive the next election, right?
Real quick, the Vengeful Truther comes in with a $5 super chat. It goes, Glenn, where the hell were you last night, bro? Sleeping. That's where I was. I was sleeping like a baby. All right.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just went to sleep, and I woke up and he won, and I was like, yep, okay, that's cool. But I mean, so what I think he's going to do, I think that at the end of the day, he's going to make better choices in who he puts in cabinet positions. I think he's scared a lot of people when he started talking about bringing Musk in. I mean, look at what Musk did at Twitter.
Yeah.
He fired 3/4 of the company. He just walked in and said, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
he literally
that's true.
brought in, what was it, a kitchen sink or some shit like that. The first day at Twitter, he walked in with it. You guys are all down the drain, right?
Well, Lauren B is right. She said like Trump doesn't complain as much as he used to. That is true. I did notice that. This video came in from the Raging Patriot, and I want to play it because it has to do with those. It says right here, Department of Justice fires Jack Smith, drop all cases against Trump after landslide. So let's see here.
Obviously, why would they not?
Burying you. You're waking the neighbors. No.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. If the effects of Donald Trump winning in a landslide last for more than 4 hours, please consult your physician. You can only get so excited. You can only get so excited on the internet on this show. We try to do a family-friendly show, but holy crap, I'm so sick of winning already. And I'm not sick of winning. We haven't even gotten started yet. Look at this. They just called Michigan and Arizona will fall like a domino. What the hell is wrong with Arizona? Give me a break. Donald Trump at 301 electoral votes. And you know what that's called? You know what that's called? It's called a mandate. See you later, Camilla. Have a great time wherever you live. Probably Canada. Spirit Halloween has now taken over all of Kamala's accounts. And now we have something absolutely and totally glorious to show you. That is about as majestic as this. Frame it, put it on the wall. But ladies and gentlemen, it gets better. Oh, it always gets better. Jack Smith has been fired. The special prosecutor, the bearded freak, who is a disgrace to his profession, who should be disbarred, who, of course, was going after Donald Trump, who raided President Trump's home. Jack Smith was behind the raid of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Jack Smith, turns out you can't actually prosecute a sitting president, and Donald Trump's your boss, bitch. Donald Trump's your daddy. Who's your daddy? Donald Trump. Jack Smith has been fired, ladies and gentlemen. According to Fox News, DOJ is now confirming that Jack Smith will be gone before Trump is sworn in. They confirm that Jack Smith's cases will all be dropped. Like Davis saying, and the probes of Jack Smith will open on January 20th. DOJ officials are evaluating how to wind down 2 federal criminal cases against Donald Trump before he takes office to comply with longstanding department policy that sitting presidents will not be prosecuted. 2 people familiar with the matter tell NBC. The DOJ cannot prosecute a sitting president. This is so delicious.
News about special counsel Jack Smith, this man right here. Donald Trump said recently that he would fire Jack Smith, quote, within 2 seconds of taking office. Well, we found out that he may not have that opportunity. The reason is that the Department of Justice, where Jack Smith works, cannot prosecute a sitting president. Fox News is told that Jack Smith will be gone from his post as special counsel, meaning the cases will be gone before Trump takes the oath of office at noon on January 20th. This is the documents case, though that was dropped already by Judge Eileen Cannon back over the summer, and it's on appeal, but also this case for Trump's alleged efforts to try to overturn the 2020 election. So given the fact DOJ policy says you cannot prosecute a sitting president, expect Jack Smith cases to be done. The last...
So, Grid, that means like he's good. He's safe.
Yeah, it seems like it, right?
Unless, like, if he is going to prosecute, he would have from now until January 20th to get a case heard, get a conviction, and sentence, right?
I mean, it seems the way it is, right? Like you can't. It can't really happen that way, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would have enough time to stall him that way. So then what would be the other metrics or methods that they would use to try to get him out of, to make sure that he doesn't become president?
The electors, what they did in 2016.
What do you mean with the electors?
Do you remember 2016? Raskins and Jackson and Waters, they were contesting like states like Alabama, Nebraska, like states that Trump won by 20, 30 points, saying that the electors were wrong or some stupid shit. And back then Biden was still kind of somewhat sharp. He's like, hey, this is all dumb shit, and he just denied all these claims. But they still did it, and it was crazy because they weren't even protesting like Pennsylvania or Michigan or battleground states. They were protesting like equivalent of a California as a red state. You know what I mean? So it was kind of insane.
Now, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be doable for them. I mean, if this picture right here, I don't know if this is like the exact breakdown, but
Vasquez even said he was going to do it too. Like he said, "Hey, if Trump wins, we're going to try this." Said like a couple weeks ago.
They could try to look at the electors, but like if the numbers, if these are the numbers, and I'm not sure whether or not this is true or not, or these are the exact breakdown, but 74% voted for Republicans or Trump. White men, white women, 69%. Black men, 16%. Black women, 8%. Latino men, 45%. Latino women, 40%. And all other races, 55%.
I thought Latino man was like 56.
I mean, I don't know. This picture just got sent to me. They don't know if it is true or not. But I'm just wondering, like if this is a breakdown, like he did better than her, and in every area other than Latino women, black women, and black men.
Yep.
Well, and white women. No, yeah, more white women voted for him. So he only did bad in like 2 areas.
Which no Republican really is going to ever win a black woman over unless it's maybe a black. Like if it was Tim Scott on the ticket, maybe. But that'd be the only maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me hit these super chats real quick before moving on. We got $10 comes in from Just Jerry Podcast. He said, I voted for Trump because of Joker 2. There's a Joker 2, Mr. Boulay comes in with a great break infomercial moment. Dick Insider. That's right, Dick Insider. A refreshing cider from our friends from Tactical Soap from Grondike Soap Company. Your candidate didn't win the election? Better check to see if she was missing some Dick Insider, proudly brewed at Manshank, Virginia, from Tactical Soap, Grondike Soap Company. Let's go. Shout out to you. And then Chrono comes in with the $10 super chat. Says the chat always wins. And then R. Allen comes in with the $5 super chat. Says he can only pardon himself for federal crimes. He's referring to state crimes. So I know Isa has to take off here in a few minutes. So I'm going to let Isa go ahead and say his last words for calling it an evening.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest concern now, honestly, is, and I just don't want to jinx nothing, is that they really try to take him out. Not just the Democrats, not just the left, not just the deep state, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Russians, the Chinese, I mean, I don't have my tinfoil hat on, but I always look back at 2020 and the cough. I legit think that was dropped onto the world just to get Trump out of office because, and I think initially they didn't even think that was going to be enough to get him out. And I think that's why all the BLM riots, all that stuff happened after the fact. So because of those reasons, now I'm just like, well, they know he can't run a third time. He can't run for a third time in office. So I think they're legitimately going to try to take him out. And they're just going to see it as, oh, well, we'd rather have Vance in there than Trump. You know, that's going to be their just response is we have to take him out. And I don't know what's going to happen to this country if that does happen. Like I really hope I pray that there's no civil war.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see them going as far as taking him out because we don't know if they may not like you take him out, you still got Vance.
Yeah, but Vance is more like not deep state, but he's more establishment.
Bro, do you think Vance is more establishment?
Oh yeah,
Vance is more establishment.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Do you think Vance is more establishment?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean it. But in the look, being part of the establishment isn't a bad thing if you're motivated in the right way, right?
Mike Ball says that they had riots that broke out 10 minutes ago in Chicago. Is that over the election? And if so, I sent you the link on Instagram. Come and hop on.
I mean, it's just it's I don't know how to put this without being there's nothing really wrong with being part of the establishment, assuming that you're actually doing good things. I mean, the whole anti-establishment movement was fucking liberal. Like, why do you want to be anti-establishment? Like, I'm kind of pro-establishment. I'm kind of pro rules. I'm kind of pro economy. I'm pro professional. I don't want to see a bunch of weirdos camped out on my lawn, because then I got to run out there and tell them to get the fuck off my lawn.
No, I get that. I'm just saying he more just like when you look at or when people think of a typical Republican, they kind of think of J.D. Vance, someone from like the Midwest or the Appalachian area, good-looking dude with the beard, typically white, 2-3 kids. That's what they think of. The only thing that doesn't check that box is his wife, but that shows a little bit of progressivism in the Republican Party. It's positive.
I'm sorry. What doesn't check? I missed that. What doesn't check the box?
That he's open-minded. The fact that he married an Indian woman and he just married like a white woman, right? It shows that he's progressive in a sense. Positive progressiveness, because we could all agree that marriage through interracial couples isn't a problem. Even though the left tries to make it seem like Republicans are against it, obviously we're not. I mean, if our VP
I'm not sure that's progressive.
Well, I would say 100 years ago, it was seen as more progressive. Now it's seen as normal.
No, that's absolutely fucking false. There's no fucking way 100 years ago would have been seen as progressive.
I mean, in some states 100 years ago, interracial marriages were still illegal. I think like in Alabama and other southern states.
But that was in a very specific manner.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
I wouldn't consider that progressive. I would actually consider interracial marriages more traditional than most. To be honest with you, that's how.
No, I don't disagree.
That's what's made throughout history. That's what has made societies stronger. That was the sailors going off to sea and coming back with a wife from wherever the fuck ever, right?
Yeah, but how many people were sailors back then?
A lot of them.
Would you say 50% of men were?
50%? No, but I would say probably 20 or 30.
Yeah. I mean, that'd still be a minority, though.
Compared to what?
Yeah, compared to...
Well, most people, I would say, back in the day were farmers. Like 50% plus, I would say.
No, they were not 50%. I mean, everyone technically farmed, but if you're talking about people who were just raising mass amounts of food for other people, I think you'd be wrong. Plus, if we look back and obviously we'd have to look way further than 100 years, right? 100 years ago, you're 100% wrong. 300 years ago, you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
No, but I agree with you. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I married a woman in my community too, and pretty much all my siblings did the same thing as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying that's the cope that the Democrats are trying to have, is saying that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but it needs to be called out for being cope, right? Like here's the thing about progressivism that I don't fucking understand. Why do they just get to call whatever they want to progressivism? It's not progressive to want to marry a beautiful woman, regardless of what background, ethnicity, race, color, creed that she is.
Yeah, well, it's usually say one-sided. Like it's like, for an example, right? A lot of professional athletes that happen to be black, then they marry a white or Hispanic or even an Asian woman. That's usually demonized, especially by like
less than 1% of society. Who gives a fuck about those people?
I know, but I'm saying that's usually demonized by the left, especially the left black women. But if a left black woman marries a non-black man, like for example Kamala Harris, right? No one gives a shit. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, people on the right and the left don't give a shit. But you see an NBA player, NFL player, whatever, who's black who marries what's his name, Patrick Mahomes, marries a white girl, everyone throws a freaking tantrum. Like,
well,
I don't think
we
everyone
don't care. Does, because I don't even know
well,
who the fuck that is.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
The quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs?
It's going to shock you, but most people could give a fuck less about sports.
Oh,
very true.
I'm just saying.
So again, you're talking about a 0.001 percentile that do something, and less than 3 percentile of people on the planet give a fuck. So
yeah,
why?
but I'm just saying that's what the
that's
left
not
tries
progressivism.
to blow up. I know, but that's what they try to blow up. Like what's the
again? I think that
abortion?
I think it's interesting that the Democrats especially try and announce anything as being progressive, as long as it suits their agenda of furthering feminism, breaking down the nuclear family, and basically ruining the means for individuals to become successful. If you aren't part of the collective, you should not be successful. This is why they go. That's why even though billionaires pay more taxes than anybody else, billionaires are always the target, because they're people that were individually successful, that are recognized as being individually successful. Elon Musk is like was never going to avoid being the target of the rich. The only time that's not true is when they're an entertainer and their success is largely due to
Hey, Jansen, I need to sign off, but good talk.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. No, you're good, boss.
I can keep rolling on.
Yep. You have a good night.
All right, guys, so take it easy. Greg, do you want to finish that final thought though, where you were at with it?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that Democrats, for whatever reason, first of all, the idea of progressivism was not a Democrat idea to begin with, right? They stood in the way of of being progressive. Truth be told, it was conservatives that were always trying to build more, do more, improve life. Somehow we've subjugated the idea of progressivism to this idea that it's socially progressive, not economically, not fundamentally, all of the other positive ways of being progressive. And I think that it sucks balls, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't owe your fame and fortune to Hollywood or somewhere else, then at the end of the day, you're the enemy, right? And you've got to pay.
But it's propaganda.
They'll either bleed you dry or they'll bring you down. One of the two.
Like that's where they find the value. They invest in things that are propaganda and all. That's why all the mainstream media is all left leaning. But it's like the Republicans we painted as the racists, but the Democrats are the ones that founded the KKK.
Yeah. Have you heard you've heard, right? Like all these people on like TikTok and all these other places, and they're like, there are not just TikTok, but a lot of sports figures, athletes, film stars, they all proclaim that they were voting for Kamala, but they actually went down and voted for Trump. And they said, but you can never tell anyone that I did this. And of course a few of them are getting outed for having voted for Trump, which I guess it's not really an L right now because he won. And I think there's, even in social media, even in some of the nonsense that we're involved in, I think that's holding true as well. So I think it's an interesting dynamic. I don't believe, this idea. I'm really annoyed with the term progressive these days. I don't find anything that the Democrats do as being progressive. If anything, it's regressive, right? Like we're regressing to ancient Greece and the hedonism that literally caused the fall of Rome and Greece. And we just, but we're going to call it progressive, and we're going to concentrate on the 0.001% instead of the reality of the situation in which that, there's a shit ton of people out there on the planet and that don't believe any of the nonsense that they're spewing out. I also think I finally fixed my audio in my chat.
Your audio sounds great.
Yeah, well, I had to really mess with it because of the way I'm streaming. It was just
because you're streaming to both. You're streaming through two different services.
Well, I've also got external speakers. I'm not using
your ear, like inner ears.
Yeah, I'm not using any of that. So, hopefully, it's coming through over on my side as well.
Well, we have Andrew Wilson's partner in debating now joining the panel. Flow State.
Sort of not a very trustworthy partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying like that collaboration.
I gotta watch the end of that. I didn't get to see the end of it.
Kind of threw me. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Where did this one go?
I gotta be honest.
Good job, Sarah. Good job, Sarah, to bringing that up.
I gotta be honest. I thought Princess was going to do better. I got to be honest with you, but just like, so I don't know, Glenn, you were there during that debate that where the same arguments were being used. And I was saying the same, I didn't use quite the same tones that Andrew did. I was more diplomatic, which I should not be, but, Andrew literally called him right on the fucking carpet that none of the things they were saying is accurate and they needed to back the fuck up. And I really enjoyed that. I really did because I wasted 2 fucking hours of my time telling them that, okay, cool, I concede your stats. Now, can we please have an argument? Like, can we please, actually get to the fucking point? And of course, you were there for that too, Glenn.
Yep.
And Princess tried to use those same arguments against Andrew, and of course, Andrew was far more blunt than either of us were, and shut him down like he was a fucking bank. Like he shut him down.
He exploded off the starting line.
Huh?
He exploded off the starting line.
He did. Oh, dude, he was like, I think he may have seen that debate with Princess because he does a lot of research, so he would have.
Oh yeah,
he would have watched.
Like Andrew definitely preps for his like.
And he knew without a doubt that he was going to say exactly what he said. And he's just like, no, you're not fucking saying that. That's not what we're talking about. Move it back. And
so, well, the question is, are we going to see another collaboration between you and Andrew Wilson on the same side? Or was that just a fluke? Was that like hell froze over for a little bit?
Well, I can't tell you. I don't ever plan my future out. I just kind of bumble through life and see where I land. I'd be happy to do more debates with him. I'd like to. I think that was unfair of a pairing.
Oh, dude, that chick. What was her name again?
Ghosty.
Ghosty.
Oh, she got blown out and thrown out. I mean, I'm just telling you.
I would love to do another debate with Andrew, but I'd like to have more challenge.
Well, I mean,
I turned on Andrew at a few times just
to have something to do. Just to have something to do because you were bored. Because
we could afford it. Why did you do that? Like, I was like wondering, like, was it just to make things more interesting, or was it because like
I gotta watch it?
Like,
I gotta
good
watch
on that.
it.
Like, you believe that position that you turned on him.
Well, it's both. I believe the positions that I actually 100% adhered to what I believe in that during that debate, but that's because it was such a skunk that like we had this room for me to do that, and also it sort of I felt like it balanced it out, so he wasn't just stomping this chick into the dirt the whole time.
Well, I mean, it wasn't he just stomping her; it was also like
Well, Process was there, sort of.
Yeah, and maybe who knows? Maybe it was
I
drug
think
call, maybe it
so,
wasn't, but I feel like it added a little bit more balance to the thing.
Yeah, I think that the way that people, so I paid a lot of attention to the way Andrew preps for debates, and also, I helped Glenn prepare for a debate that never happened, which is now going to happen. But I have some new insight. So
with what's his name? With Ben?
Yeah.
Ben, yeah. And it's really interesting the way Andrew approaches it and how much game film he watches of other people that he doesn't even talk about. Like it's one thing he'll do his debate preps and he'll show people kind of what he's doing. But a lot of that I think is a psyop because his opponents are going to watch it and they're going to prepare for the wrong thing. And then I see people like Torsia and Process and all of these folks that are trying to, or that either are or are trying to be part of the debate sphere, and they prep for all the wrong things, or they're the wrong arguments, or whatever. And Andrew goes in what I've noticed. Andrew goes in like he's already won that shit. He is simply executing his plan, and it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you try to distract him. He's going to bring it right back to his point, and he's going to walk you down his path to his W. And it's really interesting. I actually watched him moderate a debate from 2 years ago with. Oh yeah, that's true. Process was told to sit down and shut up, and he did it. like that's cold blood. I feel bad for Process because I think Process is a good dude. I hope he doesn't take it personally. And
they both seemed real good. Like they had great,
they were good.
durable attitudes the whole way through.
It's not personal,
right? But people take it that way. I mean, well, ad homs are personal, even though it's not. He doesn't feel it personally. It is a personal attack in the moment.
Sure.
But I think both of them were great sports about it, honestly.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, man. I feel like that I feel like that Andrew honestly doesn't give a shit if you ad hom him or not. And he's much like me in that regard. What do I care? But I watched this debate with Andrew.
Yeah, you're a little harder to ruffle than most.
Yeah, well, you tried.
I'm not done. I'm not necessarily done.
He's not done. He's not willing to admit defeat yet.
I just need to reassess my approach.
Wait a minute.
That's all right.
Real quick, Kono comes in with a $5 super chat. He goes, "Is Glenn provoking a DGen story hour? I thought that was after hours
it's
only."
It's not DGen, bro. It's not DGen. We're sticking to topic. About? We're sticking to the topic. But I watched Andrew moderate this debate between. It was a 2v2 debate between Scott from Fabian Liberty and some guy named Lucas and two weirdos. And dude, he is gangster as a debate mod. I mean,
is that a good thing in a debate mod? What do you mean by that?
I think it is. Well, because he would, so like, I'll send you the link if I can. I've got it on my laptop. Dude, it was crazy. So like, one of the guys was trying to introduce an argument that didn't actually have anything to do with the subject argument, and it was a trick to get Fabian Liberty's team to talk about ANCAP stuff, which was not the subject of the debate. And right away, Andrew called him out. He's like, "Hey, if you want to have a debate on ANCAP, have a debate on ANCAP. This is a debate on whatever the fuck it was on." And
real quick, Kono comes in with another $5 story hour. He says, "Dirty birds like Flo and Michelle. Come on now, I need explain."
I know how to behave myself. I've proven that.
She's
Can
fully
I-
clothed.
He's
Hey,
trying to
hey.
provoke out more degeneracy. I
Hey,
see.
come on, Flo. Can I introduce myself? I wanted to make sure my boy Lawrence is good. He looks healthy again. He got electrolytes in his body. You, I will still slap your hat sideways. Grid, what's up? Viking, what's up? Michelle, how you doing, baby?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Hi.
I'm talking to all of y'all. Yeah. But hey, continue, man. I'm just trying to interject
Yeah.
myself in the conversation.
We
I'm a little
know.
angry.
Flo, you got to
Good to
get
see
your
you.
sunglasses on, man. You're just not with the flow, bro.
All right.
Didn't you
you're
notice
right.
it was sunglass night? I came on and literally everybody had sunglasses on but me, so I had to reach down and pull up my sunglasses and put them
All right, I gotta run out to the truck real quick. You're right. I feel negative without him. I'll be right back. In the meantime, enjoy this degeneracy.
He needs another,
So like
he needs another pack of cigarettes. He needs another pack of cigarettes. He ran low on Marlboros. I get it.
my question is, how are people handling Tom McDonald's reaction to all this?
Okay, I gotta go. I don't know who that is.
That's awesome.
Tom McDonald is driving around LA right now like this.
Freedom! Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that.
Funny you should ask.
Tom McDonald is driving around Los
funny
Angeles.
you should ask.
Yo, that is awesome. Because yeah, Tom McDonald's doing his thing. I was, like I said, I just was with them not too long ago on a music video. He's doing great, prepared for his. I mean, he's been coming at Eminem a lot too. So we have seen this like the two white rappers going to war over this election. But Michelle, have you got your bottle of liberal tears? I got mine right here. 100% liberal tears.
I've been stocking
it is like
up.
literally the sweet taste of victory.
Yeah, I've been stocking up. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
So how you fall into the degen non-liberal?
Yeah, you go into those spaces. What's it like in the degen world?
Well, they acknowledge like the democratic mistakes, at least, of like, well, this was just shit. They at least give you that. So, but like obviously you do see like the extreme cope as well.
100%
so,
copium, baby.
Yeah.
Well, Chrono's coming in with another $5 super chat and he goes, "We all know Flo wants to be my little spoon."
Who's degenerate now?
Well, I don't think Chrono's ever said he wasn't a degenerate.
Yeah, I think he's pretty clear about being at least somewhat degenerate.
Yeah. So what do you guys? Oh, Chrono comes in with another $5 super chat. Says, "Sorry, y'all, that will never happen."
Pretty sure.
What have you guys been seeing in your guys' spaces, your guys' neck of the woods of about the election?
$2.
Well, my neck of the woods is on a 2-week strike ban for nudity and sexual content. So degeneracy level unlocked, but nothing.
You're on a 2-week strike ban?
State was talking about T-Rex scene
like on YouTube.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
your channel's on timeout.
Wait,
got
what?
8 days left.
Whose titties did you flash?
Wait, what? Oh yeah, I remember you saying about that. You were talking about that before. I didn't actually get to see.
Was this all over? Oh, no, different one.
No, if I pull up Studio and pop open the strikes box,
yeah,
it's literally got no information. It doesn't say what the content was. It doesn't say what the violation was. It doesn't give me an appeal option. It just strike do blank. So
wow.
I've appealed. I've reached out to YouTube 4 times now. I'm consulting somebody about the fifth attempt because clearly my approaches aren't working. But I'm hoping that things loosen up now that the election's over, because this shit didn't start until about 3 months ago.
But you're not
can
very
find
political.
him at Flow State Clips though. Just want to.
Oh yeah. There's Flow State Clips and the Powdered Dusty. or other channels. Not that I'm utilizing them. I'm definitely not utilizing them, but subscribe to those.
Mike Ball comes in with a $4.99 super chat. He goes, Grid eats Snicker bars upside down for the veins.
That's nasty.
That's weird.
That sounds like a black penis is what you're trying to describe right there.
That sounds like Mikey Balls has been doing some weird things with chocolates.
I don't know. Wow, Mikey. Are you drunk?
I think
that sounds like some of the shit that the degenerates I used to know would get up to at parties. People
The gay
hanging
ones?
from fucking rafters. No. Like how I met my that stripper that I dated. Right, the first party I ever met her at, she was like tied up, hanging from like her arms and like one leg from the rafter while getting cattle prodded. So like these people were into some weird shit. Man,
this is the girlfriend.
So, but really, what do you guys' thoughts on the election? What did you guys think about it? Like, was it, do you think? I think it was a referendum on like a lot of the feminist movement talking points because that's a lot what Kamala was supporting. Do you guys disagree? Grid disagrees. He thinks was all about money and the wars. I do think that the money in the wars played a huge role, but from a social level, I think from a societal level or community level, I think it had a lot to do with also referendum on like what they've been seeing pushed through, as in like in the feminist movement.
I think it was all economy.
All economy.
We're feeling the inflation of the lockdowns. And we're going to continue to feel it, but people don't like that, and they just want the prices to go back down.
What about you, Michelle?
I agree. They're lashing out, and the Democrats wanted to hang their hat on like abortions and women issues and shit like that, and then they were just over it. And there was also like some real lack of support for Kamala. Like if they wanted to be like smart about this, like they should have just like done another primary, honestly, like way before, Joe shit his pants. But like, that's what I'm hearing is like, it wasn't like the rep that they wanted. And it wasn't like a fair, I guess, campaign type process, or she got like, not like the short end of the stick, but, right? Exactly. It was just garbage. So
like they really did set her up for failure because like they waited until July to have Biden drop out and to put her in. Like when you're running for president, like you start like a year in advance, like. So
yeah, and they've been selling the lie for so long that he was sound mind and body, and it's just like everybody could
I don't
see
think
that
they
he clearly
intended
wasn't.
to put her in at all. I think that and I still believe. I actually was talking to my friends about this morning, and I had originally thought that what they would do is Biden would would keep it together and have that base behind him until mid-October, maybe beginning of October. And then he would have an episode or something where he wouldn't be able to continue. And then whoever he picked as his VP would step into his spot because it's too late to do the primary, all of that kind of thing. And so, and I had originally called that to be Newsome.
That's why when I remember you saying Newsome, and when I saw her come in, and I said, well, it kind of seems like they were trying to kill two birds with one stone by doing this, right?
Yeah, but I think that there was a couple of problems, and my buddy and I talked about that this morning, and we had talked about it previously. It's just interesting how it played out. So the problem with Newsome is that he had just escaped indictment over the train to nowhere, and he's still, I think he's still charged. He's still got to go to court over the train to nowhere. And Yeah, I think that's coming up. Now that's not in LA County where you're at now. That's I think
No.
in Sacramento.
Yeah, it's up north, from what I understand.
Yeah. The first case was down in your area. I believe it was in LA, and I think he got out of there with his balls barely intact. And there was I don't think they wanted that extra attention, and certainly he doesn't want any extra attention brought to the fact that he's under indictment and that he's got to go to court over the train to nowhere. And what was it, $12 billion? I think is what they spent. That they
yeah, he owes a lot of monies
to somebody because it went somewhere, but not there because it's a train.
Wait a minute,
to nowhere.
Yo, Gred, what are you doing with your cars? You still ain't tell me how to fix my Porsche, my front suspension.
I don't know what's wrong with your Porsche, but
you don't have a Porsche.
I got two of them. You broke little weirdo. Shut
No, you
up.
don't.
All right. You want to see a picture? Yo.
No, I want to see a live video. I want you to take your phone outside and show me.
Really? Okay, right now. Give me 1,000. This is easy. Very. Do you want the lights
I just want
on
to
or
keep
off?
talking about politics.
No. He stepped in the mud, Grid. Let me get him. Do you want the lights on and off with a tail up or down?
Can we just talk about politics? Just do your thing. Show me the video.
You asked for it.
Just
at
cam
any
it
rate,
when you're ready, dude. Just cam it up when you're ready.
Yeah, just cam
You
up.
see
Yeah,
how
it's
easy
cool.
that is?
So
you fucking idiot. Stop playing around with me, man.
So I think Newscomb,
I
you know,
we
I
cool,
think
we
he
cool,
had
bro, we
a real
cool.
problem, and my next guess would have been Booty Juice, right?
What?
Booty
But,
Jet?
yeah, but the thing is once the debate happened and all of the pressure came on to get rid of him earlier than planned, there's no way. So I think Booty Juice thinks that he can be president. I think that, and so he wants, if he's going to get involved, he wants to have a real chance to win. And he didn't see if he came in that early that he would have a chance, that he could really pull it off. And
Well,
then
they set her up for failure. They gassed her up to let her think that she could actually win.
Yeah, no, I think that she's the sacrificial lamb. They knew, and when I say they, I mean the DNC.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get him real quick. Flo, he's a sacrificial lamb right now because if you give Glenn 1,000 right now, no, give him 5 because I was done for.
Why are you deflecting?
I ain't deflecting nothing. You want me to go outside and show you one of the Porsches? What do you want, the tail up, lights on, or lights off? What's up?
I just want you to do it.
No, pay him. Pay Glenn.
No.
Then you ain't getting it.
Because you don't have it.
Really? You know what? Hold on one second, you punk ass bitch.
You know, it's the little things. It's the little things.
You know what?
Make me.
I'm not gonna go on cam, but wait a minute. In my property with more than over 100 acres, I could do that and hurt your real feelings. Or do you want to put up the real money so I can
Stop
go outside
talking to me?
Shut
I'm not
up.
putting up any
Do
money.
you want me to go outside right now and show you the car and
Flow
turn
State
it on?
just had his channel.
Oh,
like,
you don't want
bombed,
that to happen,
so,
do you?
Don't ask him for money right now.
Okay. Stop being a sucker, Flo. You've been fucking with that idiot fatty. This is real over here. This is the United States, stupid. We won. Relax. Don't make me take your money, bro. Chill out. This is easy. It's right outside.
What money?
What? What did you say?
I said what money?
I'll take your money. You pay that to Glenn right now.
I'm taking your dignity and your headspace.
No, you're not. This is so easy. Look, hold on. Look, you want to hear the?
Will you stop making noise and disrupting the whole conversation?
All right, my bad, bro. Punk ass.
Anyway,
Can I go?
To do is so easy.
This is why you're frustrating. This is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you was
Mr.
you the
could
one
go.
talking shit, and I'm about to go outside and show you. Pay Glenn 1,000, and then I'll do it.
Mister. What color is your Bugatti?
Yeah. How does it feel, you sucker?
Well, what I would say is we can't forget that for almost 8 years, you know, these people called us all these stupid names, which doesn't really mean anything. But they went to a congressional baseball game and opened fire on them. Okay. the claims that we are the bad guys and we're the ones doing all this harm to them is just utter bullshit. And yet they take over cities. And so the reason why I bring this up is because we're all of a sudden now supposed to play nice with them. Fuck that shit. I'm totally against that. I'll make that point first. The second thing is, I'm glad that you guys are all up in the media spaces and shit like that now, because one of the things that I've seen behind the scenes is if we don't take control of these social media platforms, someone else is going to do it. They're going to come in and, I'm just going to quote Biden, who is a puppet, but, he said, oh, they're not your kids. They're all of our kids. So to that, I say, go ahead and fucking try it. And we're not going to put up with this shit. So that's all I got for now.
That just made me nauseous when you said
I
that.
still want to
Holy
get
fuck.
back on who can't show a car, a Porsche. I can go outside right now. Yo, put the 5. All right, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a discount. 500 flow to.
I'm offering my real estate for auction in some dude's head.
No, do it, yo, bro. It gets 500 right now, and then you can
real quick while you guys discuss the amount here. Chrono comes in with a $5 super chat. It says, "Can we make Just join and explain what a bush pig is?" And Crab comes in with another $5 super chat. It goes, "Change some dude's name to Mr. No Porsche."
Okay.
All right.
1,000. Yo, I'll do it for 5 right now and go outside. I'd never put a camera on, but I'll go right outside my.
Why are you putting a paywall in front of your dignity?
To prove you as a fucking idiot.
Why are you arguing with him? This guy can't even pay his child support. He's arguing that he has a Porsche.
I don't
Fuck
got
off.
kids, you fucking moron. What's wrong with you guys?
That's what they all say.
The reason why he doesn't pay the child support is because he has a
that's
Porsche.
why I got money.
Who cares? Just move on. Come on, guys.
5 seconds ago, but
Who
now
gives a shit? Who fucking cares?
Now y'all stuck. Okay, I get it. Cool.
We're not stuck. We're just continue. Who's next?
Broke.
Who the hell is next?
I didn't know you next. I will bury you right now. 500 to Glenn right now.
Okay. All right, whatever.
On
Look,
camera,
look.
I will flash the lights.
Come on.
Turn it on and rev it.
We're just trying to have a conversation. We're just trying to have a conversation.
Started it. 500 to Glenn. I will go outside live cam.
I didn't start shit. What are you talking about? Just
dummy.
all right, whatever.
I gotta say, I didn't really like it first.
But it's
I really didn't like it first, Flo. But I gotta take my hat off to you, man. You are an amazing troll, sir. You triggered this man so fast. Hats off.
Hold on, man. Let me cut it out.
Hey, I'll be right back. My chicken and waffles is here.
Oh, bro. Hold on. I got love for the homie Flo. He just be a little high sometimes. I don't know if he's methed out or something, but hey, man, if you want to see some Porsche proof, put 500. It's a discount. What's up?
Flo, if you ever ask about this dude's car
you're the one that
again,
added
I'll
that
slap you
paywall.
myself.
He said that you didn't have one. You said you were going to go show him, and then he said you wouldn't, and then you added a paywall, proving him right.
Give it to me. I don't want it. Give it to Glenn.
Yeah, what he means by Porsche is a cardboard box with the word Porsche spelled wrong.
You added the paywall for no reason. You're the one that said you were going to do the picture, and then you added an arbitrary paywall, proving Flo right.
I'm not better.
He's got a Porsche like I've got a Cadillac.
Oh my god. Yo, hey,
That's
man,
actually
put 500 up right
All
now.
right, so we're getting reports, you guys, about violence breaking out in Philadelphia and Chicago right now.
Like I said.
Well, I mean, it's Chicago.
I mean, you're talking about liberal shitholes. Why do I care?
Now, I'm wondering, are these Mr. or Ghost, are these riotings, these riots are due to the election or for other things? Because I looked up Chicago. Chicago seems to be about a police officer that got killed.
That seems much more likely.
But I'm not sure about the Philadelphia. And
I'm more concerned if Chicago isn't rioting. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and I'm wondering, do you think like do we think that like this is going to be a thing from the left? Do you think are we going to see riots over this election? Is it?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Wouldn't they already be going on if they were, or do you think they're waiting?
You have to wake up early to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
they don't get up early.
You're going to see BLM come back. You're going to see Antifa out in Portland, all this kind of shit, burning shit down. And
Blue
then,
did,
like I said,
fuck this
the
guy
whole
up.
kind
I
of
mean,
thing
no
would be,
shit.
oh,
He-
the Republicans
he
are the
actually
violent
just,
ones and all this
like,
kind of shit. At the end of the
called him out
day,
on it.
you just got to
So we've
double
kind of all
down and
kinda
just be
wondered
fucking like,
about,
law,
some
don't be the
dude
party
in
of law
his,
and order.
Porsche
You know what I
or
mean?
no
Put that
Porsche.
shit out at the
But
thing. You can't have another fucking
who
Charles or
knows?
Chop or whatever the fuck they call that. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day,
Yeah. Chrono comes in with a $5 super chat. It goes, how many of these in a row to get Ben, the man, rating ladies? Well,
how's the
Ben's
audio
camera's
now,
not on
guys?
yet,
Is it
so
working pretty
we
good?
can't get him to rate ladies until we see his face. And then Chrono comes in with another $5 super chat. He goes, is that a fake Ben happening now?
Fake Ben.
I hope not.
Fake Benz, fake Porsches. This whole night is fake.
No. I'm just trying to find some sunglasses to join the squad. I can't find any.
Smart man. Smart man.
I got glasses, but I don't have no sunglasses. So.
Oh, there he is.
You have spray paint?
Spray paint? No. I don't think so. I got like a black texture.
Most spray paint washes off.
Does it though? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
No, Ben being
What about
from
graffiti?
or
Ben being from Aussie land, how much do you think? Like, how much was you guys' interest on our election? Like, was our election a big talk over there, or were you guys more concerned about the emus?
No, I'll tell you what. I literally joined to like the election, and everyone was like screaming and celebrating, and I was like, wait, what happened and everything. I think it was on the Fox News one. I went back 2 minutes, and they were like, and officially, Trump is elected as the 47th president. I went out, told my family, we're all going around the house going, let's go, my boy, yes. So it's like, it's pretty damn good, yeah.
So you guys had a big interest on Trump winning as well.
Oh yeah, because whatever happens with that is going to affect the entire world. So it's probably the most important thing going on in the world right now, especially like politically worldwide, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, how do you think this is going to play out, Grid, like overseas? Like, do you think we're going to see the war end before Trump gets in office in like Ukraine, and or do you think like it's going to take Trump getting in the office, then we'll start seeing this stuff start winding down?
It depends on how much Biden has to hide. If there's a lot of stuff that can be traced to the Biden Harris administration directly, as far as funds coming back to them and that sort of thing, then I would say the war is going to end pretty quickly, and it's going to be a, hey, nothing to see here, move along, young man, kind of thing, or at least the aid will stop pretty quickly. However, I don't think and obviously, that would also look very suspicious. But I don't know. They got a few months to try and get their shit in order. I as I was about to say earlier before we went down the no Porsche alley. I think that what the left did, or the DNC did specifically, is they put Kamala in place with a lame duck, just kind of a weirdo VP choice as it's kind of a Hail Mary, right? I mean, if she got in, awesome. That's cool. That means that they could really pull the wool over the America public eyes. If she didn't, which she didn't, then they get to dine out the next 4 years on you miserable bastards, you wouldn't vote for a black female candidate. You suck. You poor, numbskull, dumb sons of bitches. And they're going to dine out on that for the next 4 years. For the next 4 years, all we're going to hear is that we were so afraid that we could not bring ourselves to admit that this poor black woman come from nothing, pulled herself up by her bootstraps.
Well, you know what?
Hope of the world.
I got some video here I want to share with you guys from thank you, Ghost, for sending this. Check this out, you guys.
These thousands of workers coming together to coordinate a strike to paralyze the city, to paralyze the flow of profit, to paralyze production in the city. That is what these workers have the potential to do. And this is true union.
This is the big protest outside City Hall in Philadelphia. There's maybe 24 people, maybe
Why are they
3
protesting? Being stupid?
Only like 36 people there?
Are those like Russian flags?
Yeah, communist
They
flags.
kind of look like it.
It kind of looked like they would try to convert Chinese flags to like
Yeah.
something cooler, but
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Chrono comes in with a $5 super chat. He goes, "Are we not men? Needs beer. Oh, he needs a lot of beer. Trust me, a lot of beer." So, what are your guys' thoughts? Like, what does Trump need to do this term to make things better overall moving forward? Because he's not going to be able to, if he spends his time trying to go after, because people think he's going to go after his enemies.
oh, he's definitely going to do that.
Do you think that takes away from?
I don't think it takes away from anything. I think that.
Oh, y'all didn't see what I just showed, huh? Y'all just gonna.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Y'all just
What?
gonna ignore
Yeah,
that
so
one, huh?
I
Did I
think
miss something?
I think Trump.
Carriac, did I miss something?
You fucking idiot.
I didn't see it, but I think
Okay.
that for Trump to have like successful offices to clamp down on the border, stop illegals coming in, start the deportation effort as well to make up for the waves that were coming in over the border during the Biden presidency. Let Musk do his thing. I think Musk was saying he was going to reduce government spending by over 30%. With that, you can then afford more tax cuts, put more money back into the everyday American taxpayer's wallet. Increase. I think it's like a 10% or 20% universal tariff, which might make things a bit more expensive, but essentially you'll make the difference up, and people will still be able to get at least the same amount of stuff for that they're currently getting, or that they were getting under Trump's original policy. In terms of global affairs, all he really has to do is just cut the funding to Ukraine, and then all of a sudden Zelensky will then start talking about peace finally. Ukraine probably will lose a bit of land in these peace talks, but it is what it is.
They deserve
And
it.
then in terms of the Israel-Iran conflict, doesn't really need to do anything there. Pretty much like if Israel does lose funding there, they'll just play a more kind of like long-term game with it, particularly because the way things are looking in Iran, the youth and all that stuff, like they've been burning mosques and shit like that, Qurans on the street and all that. So all you have to really do is just let things play out in Iran, and they'll overthrow they'll coup the government, and they'll eventually be ironically
let's
one
get
of
back
Israel's
to
greatest
it.
allies.
Okay, let me stop the sharing and all that. Because I just did it. Y'all need to shut the fuck up.
Are you about to do it again?
Yeah.
Because
don't
we
play
didn't
with me.
see anything. You didn't
Really?
cam up. There's no picture.
No, hold on. Hold on. I'll do it again.
All right, put your camera. Why? You're.
I don't have a camera connected. I'm just
Well,
showing.
then we won't be able to see it.
Yeah, you will. Watch. Window. Boom. And there we go. See?
Nope.
No, we can't see anything.
Really?
Nope.
That's right.
Imagine that. Aren't you in IT?
Yeah.
You can't figure out a camera on your phone.
Yeah, Teriak. So
don't
what
do
I see
cameras.
happening, the first, what I would like to see happen is I would like to see Musk put in charge of the government finance office. I'd like to see him go through the GAO and fucking flow. That's from I think that's from the big auction that they just had through RM Sotheby's, but whatever.
Are you guys
You're pretty
scared
good.
now? Is that what it is? You
What?
scared? No, them. They scared now? You know what? Let me see if I could drag and drop
No,
it.
nobody's
I don't do
scared of
cameras.
anything, man.
No,
Anyway,
shut
so
up. No, you pissed somebody off that actually got it like that. Not you, Grid. Yeah.
I actually tried to buy a couple of engines through them, through that auction flow, but unfortunately, you had to be present to bid, and unfortunately, Glenn decided to be in the hospital, so I couldn't pay him to go down and bid for me.
That piece of shit.
I know.
Yeah, sorry guys, dying.
He really fucking inconvenienced.
Yeah, Glenn.
How dare you?
Do you have a dealer license?
I'm sorry?
No.
Do you have a dealer's license?
I used to.
Hmm.
I have an account with the fuck are they Copar to buy salvage cars and stuff. Because we used to buy that's how we got a lot of the chassis for the race cars, is we would buy theft recoveries and shit. But what I'd like
real
to
quick,
see,
I'm gonna hit some super chats real
go
fast.
ahead, man. Go ahead.
And so let's go with, here we go. We got Chrono coming in with $5. He says, how many more of these in a row to get Ben the man rating ladies? We will get to
already
that.
said that one.
Oh, I did.
That's
I
a
did.
different show.
Yeah.
Are we not men needs beer? Oh, here we go. Flo needs to be less Mitch and get out of the little spoon territory.
I don't even know what that means. You should be less Mitch and get out of the little dollar territory.
And Chrono sends another $5 super chat. So
do you remember back in the day when he used to drop big bucks to kick me out of here, and now like you must have wrung him dry?
He might be in a recession. Who knows? But you know, Ben, they want to know: can you rate these ladies, please, without running away?
No.
It's fucking.
I'll do it
easy.
with you.
That is too fucking easy. You owe Lawrence 1,000.
We haven't seen
you
anything.
a sucker.
So
you got a man pawn string hanging out your butt.
all right, Ben.
I didn't almost said it. I'm sorry.
Ben, what do you think here?
Don't ever try me like that again, because I only showed you one.
You didn't show shit.
Are you serious? I just did it.
No, you didn't.
You might be able to put a pic, like
Oh
you can't do
my
pictures
God.
in the StreamYard, man, but you might be able to send one in like a email or a Discord or something.
Nah, he can't. That's
show
not enough.
screen. Hold on, it's show screen. I'm not on the stream, y'all.
Just be quiet. We'll deal with you later.
No,
Ben?
we don't deal with it now.
Ben, let's rate, shall we? Ben?
Okay. Wait, what was that?
Who's speaking for Ben?
What's up
That
with
was
that?
Ben, I'm
Y'all
pretty
see
sure.
that? If y'all don't
Yeah,
see
how-
that, y'all are
the-
stupid.
Their voice is too manly for
Oh.
me, so you know.
If
Well,
you
hold
don't
on.
see that, y'all stupid. I know y'all see it.
Oh, you sent a picture? Is that
No, I'm
in
just
pink?
sharing a screen. That's my other home with my property with my other
Man,
Porsche.
shut up.
All right, whatever, man. You want me to go outside? I got the same one outside right now. The other one.
I want you to stop making noise until you're standing in front of it with a working camera.
Oh, I could do that right now. Send them 1,000. That's right outside, man. Cut it out. What, you want to hear the keys jingle and all that? Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't be broke. Don't act like a broke.
How come you
white
keep
boy.
saying you can do it, but then you're like, send money? That doesn't, dude.
No, I
come
want
on.
you to
Just
send
stop
money to
it. You're
Glenn,
wasting
not
time.
me.
Just,
I don't need
no,
your
just
money.
stop it. You're
I'm
wasting
not
everybody's
broke, you
time.
dummy. I'm not broke.
No,
like
no,
you.
you're being the dummy here. Shut the
I
fuck
really
up.
want to get back
You're
to the
wasting time.
politics because this is.
Yeah, you see
this
how
is-
easy that is, and you shut up fast and you change the subject. Wow.
Well, I'm the one changing the subject
Relax.
because
Relax.
Real
Take it
quick,
easy.
we got Speaker for the Dead comes in with a $5 super chat. He goes, "Are we not men needs more beer? Let's fucking go. We won. Well, let's go, boys. We won."
You see how funny you can shut people up real fast when you actually got it? Hey, yo, Flo.
So I'm
shut up.
wondering-
Go smoke a cigarette, dog, and relax.
I'm wondering, when it comes to the election, how? So is Trump going to, concede that like maybe he lost the last election and it wasn't stolen, or was there, or what changes took place from last election to this election that that made him be able to win?
Everyone
there
ready
any
for it this
Well,
time?
His daughter is in charge of the RNC. That's number one. You got Crowder out in Michigan. You had Charlie Kirk out in Arizona. You had tons of people all over the place watching their shenanigans, which they tried again, by the way.
Hey, thanks, Ticky Tack.
In
I appreciate
2020,
that. That's awesome, man.
the guy in the
Thanks for
Fulton County,
$10,
Georgia Board of
brother.
Elections, his name is Mark Wingate. He
really
released
do
a
appreciate
video
it.
that claimed 144,000 2020 ballots had no signature verification. So they're still waiting on that. But the only reason why we know any of what I just said is because of independent media. So you're not going to hear that on the the big six, as I like to call them. But regarding now, he has to get, we got the right people in, not including him. He has 6 of his own new people in Congress, so they are non-rhino anti-war people. They're the ones that are going to help stop the war. That and balance everything out. So that's my 2 cents.
So you think it's more like whistleblowers?
No,
Not. Go ahead, Grid. Sorry.
that's all right.
Man, Flo is a cool cat.
No,
Hey, yo, man, you owe Glenn 500 now, Flo. If not, you a sucker.
Yeah, so
anyway,
staying on topic.
I really want to see Elon Musk in the GAO. I want him to do what he did with TikTok, go in, fire 3/4 of the people, get the budget back under control, and make it, obviously we don't need the government to be profitable. We just need them not to lose money every year and just start paying down our debt. That would be great. If we can get Musk in there and he has the authority to do that, that would be awesome.
You know what's crazy about that, Grid? Gas prices of infrastructure and logistics and
I'm sorry?
Infrastructure, logistics, and trucking for the fuel needed for, like, a lot
you
of
just
people
saying hot
say,
words?
hold on, a lot of people say I'm gonna get a Tesla and I'm gonna save money on gas, but people don't understand what it takes to manufacture the lithium batteries to keep them going.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, but America can go back into actually being an exporter of oil rather than an importer of oil.
I mean that's. I mean, I don't want that's an irrelevant. I look. I don't care. I need less government employees literally draining the product of my ball sack every single fucking day.
Weird. That's weird.
Okay.
All right. You know what's crazy? They just found a very big lithium deposit.
I don't care. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about
right now.
We're talking about, I don't care about electric cars. I don't give a shit. All I care about is reducing our debt. Okay. Elon Musk Elon Musk in charge of the General Accounting Office or any of the government major government employers, as he's been told, as Trump has alluded to doing, putting him in charge of that would be great.
No, y'all
turn around on the other side of that.
I showed you one, and now y'all want to be in slow mode. What is the debt and what is the problem? What's going on in America? You got to be a little quicker than that if you say you a racer. Y'all said I didn't have a Porsche. I showed you. I can go outside. It's gonna be another 5. Be very elaborate. And
I don't.
fast.
You sent a picture. That's cool. I don't know. I don't care. I only care about the discussion that we're having. That's all I care about.
IQ shit, man. Y'all talk shit until it happens. See, y'all fucking around with a real one.
You're clearly drunk again, sir.
Well, I mean, all right. Let's be honest. All right, hold on. Fuck this. Look, here's the thing. You've got it. What do you got? You've got a 2000. What is that? Like a 2007 996?
I have 2 of them.
Is it a 2007 996? Is it a 2007 996? 2007, 2008?
997.
Okay.
And I got a 997 turbo.
Okay.
With a cage in it. And I got
I doubt that highly, but okay, maybe you do.
Right, whatever.
It's irrelevant because
wait a minute, didn't y'all say
because a 996 was like 20 grand, bro? Hondas are more expensive.
No, they're not, man. A 997 turbo, man. Come on, man.
A 997 turbo today on today's market is maybe 80 grand. It doesn't impress me.
I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about performance. Y'all said I didn't have it, and I got it.
I don't. No, you said you got it like that. Like it's
Yeah,
a
and
big
you
deal
see
to
the
have a
property
Porsche.
is
It's
sitting
like
on, that's
80
100
grand,
and
dude.
that's over 180
My fucking
acres is
Jag F
sitting on.
pace was more than that.
Bro, my property, I make $6,000 a month off my property.
That's awesome.
And my Vanguard account gets another 12.
You know how I know you're poor?
Really?
You keep telling us about your money.
No, see, you asked for it, and now you
I didn't
embarrassed.
ask for any of it. I told you to shut the fuck up and let me talk about politics. That's all I want to do.
I'm sorry.
I want
I'm
to.
sorry.
I would really like to continue the
So y'all mad
conversation
it
I was having before you showed up. But if you keep talking, and I don't want to do this, I'm going to continue to embarrass you because I do know about
How you gonna
Porsches,
embarrass
and I
me?
do know exactly what they're
want you to
worth,
fix the
and I
front
do know
suspension.
exactly how poor you can be and own one. I mean,
Poor?
seriously. At one point in time,
Oh,
I
wait,
bought a
whoa, 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 whoa,
996
poor?
turbo for 30 grand.
Do you know
Right?
what I got in it on E85?
I don't care.
I'll burn you. Let's go on the
Nobody
track. Then, stupid.
cares.
Let's go on the
He said,
track.
"Let's get on the
Literally
track."
don't care.
Right, but you
Motorsports, I'm happy
literally
to talk to you about
playing with
politics if you want to
fucking
get back on.
airplanes, dude.
All right, let's get back
Let's
on
get back on
politics.
topic.
Literally,
This is how you know he's drunk.
Yeah.
He's trying to pick a
Everybody's
race
drunk. Y'all
fight
just
with a
mad.
guy that used to that
Y'all
like
mad
has his
'cause
own
y'all
race
seen the
team. Like,
property.
are you
see the
fucking kidding me?
vastness and the greenery. Make
Yeah.
you
you
That's
Like, take
my
it to the
daily.
track, man. Like he's literally got a team. You fucking idiot.
Oh, I had.
I
I'm
know.
retired,
I give
bro.
with
I'm retired.
respect. He
So,
got trophies.
so
Look at the
to get the
trophies.
conversation back on track, okay? So
Yeah.
what Trump needs to do is like what Grid was saying is to get Elon in to do his government efficiency, reduce. I think it's at least like 30%, probably even 40% that he'd be able to reduce
I
in
think
terms
so.
of that.
What
Easy.
happened to Mr. No
Increase the
Force, though?
tariffs, do the universal tariffs, and then the
Well,
income tax
but
policies
he's not
that he's doing
talking
to put
about
more money back
universal
in America.
tariffs. He's
All right,
talking
we'll
about
get back. We'll
directed
get back to
tariffs
politics. All right.
at anything that could be made here or should be made here,
Yeah,
but isn't, right? Or companies
Exactly.
who are based here that are pushing X amount of their products being made somewhere else and then brought here. Or, which is worse for our country, is when they ship our steel to somewhere else, have a product built, and then bring it back into the country.
Yeah,
So-
we have to like get rid of China. Like no more China making all of our stuff cheaply
but
for us and
China-
then shipping it back.
Yeah,
Like,
China's actually probably. I mean, China still makes a lot of the stuff we use, but it's not as much, and they don't care.
but
we get a
isn't
lot
that
more
what the
from-
tariffs
we
are
get a lot
for? The
more
stuff
from
that we
China,
can do here
pardon
that
me.
we don't.
Yeah, like from what I understand, the tariffs are like up to 60% on China, but this is outside of New York, or I'm sorry, Chicago right now.
Well, it doesn't matter. Cry all you want. Oh. Hey, that's an insurrection, by the way.
That's
an
what I was
insurrection.
wondering. Is this an insurrection?
That's an insurrection.
Is that an insurrection?
That's an insurrection by their definition. Anyway,
So,
go ahead.
I
I'm
did wanna-
sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. I came on to talk about that because you're talking about 2020 a few minutes
Yeah.
ago.
I wasn't talking about 2020 at all, but go ahead.
Glenn was talking about 2020. a few
Yeah, I brought up
minutes ago.
2020.
Can
Yes.
I bring
Dick?
in? Can I bring in something with since y'all are on such a political tangent? You know
Sure.
what
Tangent.
happened? That why she lost is because she had female emotional feelings and she couldn't concede and she didn't come out when it was over. She left them and they left us. Everybody
Wait, I'm sorry.
walked
You think
out.
she lost because she didn't concede after she already had lost?
No, she lost any future credibility.
Okay.
Yeah, she left. Everybody was like, concede, come out, yes, applause. Like the one thing she messed up, she had Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B that couldn't speak a lick of nothing. So that's you don't want.
Well, the
nobody-
RNC did have Amber Rose.
See, there we go, using hoes.
Yeah, that stuff. The celebrity endorsements and stuff. They don't actually.
Yeah, I don't think
matter
that
much.
moves the needle at all. I'm sorry, Keela. What were you saying about 2020? I would like to hear it.
No, it's okay. I was listening earlier. I didn't have the chance to jump in yet, but we were talking about the Jack Smith case and how he's going to have to step down because
Yes,
you can't prosecute a sitting president.
Mhm.
There was sort of a celebratory feel to the conversation where you guys were like really happy that the case was being thrown
Well,
out.
we just thought it was. I thought it was funny. I can't speak for anyone else, and I was really distracted with getting my mic working. So to be honest with you, I didn't really participate much.
Okay.
in
No,
that
well,
deal.
I'm curious because Glenn was kind of like, He was, oh yeah, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. You sound
Well, I
pretty
was
simple.
just.
Oh yeah, he's safe.
I'll
Like
tell you
hell
what
yeah.
I was saying. Like I'm saying, like, oh wow, okay, well, the guy can't prosecute him for these like ridiculous charges. Like, if he's going to prosecute him and hold him accountable, Trump accountable for it, then why didn't nobody do that to Hillary when she did, mess around with campaign funds as well?
Oh, that's
That was Comey. That was the head of. Sorry, the head of the FBI said she was guilty. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not debatable. And then he said we're just going to recommend non-prosecute, not to prosecute.
Okay, but if you think that's
So if
bad,
that's the standard, so what I'm
But
saying is that if that's the standard of what they have decided to do, they implemented that as the standard for it.
no.
So
don't
then
talk
why didn't
about-
Trump do the same thing?
I don't
Trump
want to.
should've
I don't
done
want
the
to
same
talk about double standard. I want to talk about what you think. What you think should happen. So, no. Aside from
I
what,
just
how they've
did.
treated other, no, that's fine. But I don't even necessarily disagree with you. So just to be clear, I'm a Democrat. But like, if it were the case that a president or a candidate or whatever had committed a crime, I would want that crime to be investigated, and if they were guilty of the crime, I'd want them to be convicted of the crime.
Yeah, but all right.
So-
all right. Hold on, bro. You're talking real fast, like you coked up or something. What about if the
Maybe I
people that are in? Hold on, let me finish. What about the people that are involved in the investigation? Kind of deters it, steers it, fork in the road it, the whole 9 yards. Which
Yeah,
happens
you wanna be
in
specific?
political jargon.
Can you
So
be
what do
more
you
specific?
think happened? Why she lost? Because people were steering in
You
the
talking about
wrong
can we
direction.
focus in
right?
one thing at a time? Why are you going back
I'm
to Kamala?
giving you a direction. If you can't keep up, just shut up.
No, you're taking us in a completely different direction. I'm
No,
talking
it's
about
in a
the
Can I
Capitol
answer your
case.
question,
direction.
Kilo? I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
I'll try and briefly engage. While I have no issue with Trump being prosecuted fairly, all of the court cases against Trump were really thin, and they knew they were thin. It's like the case in New York where they had to literally recreate laws that were no longer on the books and make them felonies to satisfy the prosecutor. And that prosecutor was now actually likely under indictment. I don't know, but
Let's just talk about Jack Smith, though.
Okay, I'm sorry. Why I was kind of going global with it, but okay. I don't know that the Jack Smith prosecution has any teeth to it. Do you feel like that there's teeth there? That there's something that is accurate enough to be a chargeable offense?
The facts of the matter that would have been brought forth in front of a jury for
Mhm.
the conspiracy to defraud the U.S., the conspiracy to rights, all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
That stuff is not disputed by Trump or JD Vance. No one
Okay,
denies the facts of the matter. of the
Wait
case.
a minute. What about nepotism within the legal system?
Okay, I need you to stop talking. I don't like talking to you.
No, you don't like to understand.
No, I just don't like hearing your voice.
No, you just don't know how to understand. You
Okay.
got a very low IQ.
Motorsports.
I understand.
So
It's okay.
the facts of the matter
Be a
of
girl.
those
Put your
cases,
panties up.
the evidence is all available. It's already, this is the stuff that most of what the case was probably going to be surrounding was already uncovered during the January 6th meeting with what's his name, Adam Kinzinger, and you can look at their findings. They published the 850
What are the
page report
findings?
that they recommended these charges that Jack Smith brought forth.
Right.
Charges referring to who and what?
Donald Trump for a conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction
Okay.
of an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights, as well as the documents case.
Okay.
But I think that one probably was a little bit thinner, I would say.
Yep, it
Are
was-
you referring to insurrection?
Oh, January
it's
6th. Oh, here we go.
It's a concerted effort from from early December through January 6th
Got
to
him.
overturn the results of the election.
Hey, Glenn, I'm sorry. I can't stand this constant interruption,
okay.
man. I gotta go. I'm done. This is fucked up.
What? You're taking off?
Yeah, man.
This guy, Mr. No Porsche, is
I
extremely
literally, I'm
irritating.
trying to have a serious discussion, and we got a fuckhead in the chat, so I'm out. All right, guys, I am done for the night. I probably should have stopped a while ago. I I would have liked to have really had an actual discussion with Kilo, but Glenn wants to let some dude on for whatever fucking reason, and I got to go. So see you guys. You know the drill. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Enjoy this the sounds of Andrew laughing his balls off while you get off my lawn, and have a great night.
Yeah, I just answered your question. Can you tell me what epistemology means?
Epistemology is the study of the epistles. I mean, you can. I told you that a husband and wife is supposed to be the representation of God and the church. He said he's a husband. I asked him if he sees himself as the embodiment of God, and he said no. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what is the epistles?
The epistles are the apostles. Are you talking